Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rise of Drekis, Chapter 2. How are we all doing today?
Very good.
Excellent.
How is our favorite DM doing? Surely in a good mood, willing to be a gracious god in this world of ours.
Somebody has been leaving... Oh, I fucked up the overlays. Sorry. Nope. We gotta move people around.
I tried to fix it. It didn't work.
I saw you flicker. Okay, very good. Thanks, Trump. Someone's been leaving dog treats and bully sticks just on the sidewalks and streets where I walk my dog in the morning. So she's getting just like extra food being found all over and extra treats being found all over. So yeah.
Do you think purposeful?
I have no idea. I don't know how someone could be this clumsy, but I also don't think someone is just like tossing dog treats from their cars as they like drive down the streets.
That's so cute, though.
You're a much better person than me. I'd be terrified that somebody's out there poisoning dogs.
Poison them, yeah. That's my first thought.
Dude, people do that all the time. They do that all the time. They leave out
I'm so suspicious
like food
with my dog.
for like animals because they fucking hate dogs.
I've heard a story of someone who hated their next door neighbor's dog barking, and so they got a sardine and they put poison in it, went by the gate, fed it to the dog fucking died. So
yeah, but these things are very rare. This is like your neighbor coming and shooting you because your music is too loud. These are crazy rare things. This is not anything anyone needs to actually worry about day to day.
Well, it's nice to know that you live in a very nice place with good people, Neal. That's your confirmation right there.
I'm glad that you don't live with debilitating anxiety. For me, I'm suspicious of everyone. When I walk down the street, I'm got my pepper spray fucking locked and loaded. I'm ready to go. I'm so hyper.
She has the poisonous treats for the strangers in her bag. She's like, okay, I'm ready. Who wants a fucking cookie on it?
I would really expect Canada to be a nice and safe place. I get that Germania is a place of barbarians and monsters, but Toronto seems lovely.
Yeah.
We have our moments, though. I mean, if you've ever been on the TTC, the Toronto Transit Committee mission, our buses and our subways, you have had a near-death experience. Every single Torontonian has had a near-death experience on the TTC because there are crazy people there, and I don't want to be caught slacking.
Okay. All right. I will not walk my dog in Toronto. It sounds like a place where they're going to kill dogs.
No, they're going to kill you. Sorry.
This is okay. About killing you, I actually had a drunk guy last week throwing a full bottle of 0.5 liters, not bottle, but it was like a can of beer straight into the direction of my head.
What?
Just late at night, and I dodged it by this much, and I just kept on walking because I'm not going to start arguing with a drunk guy at midnight in the middle of the street. But it was quite shocking. So if you're out there, all I'm saying is, especially during Christmas time, be careful. There's some really nice people, and there's some very crazy folk. You never know what somebody throws out.
Crazy.
All right. Bad meth trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on that happy note, where did we leave our party last? I do believe there was a peaceful forest that you were hanging out in.
Oh yeah, the Forest of Death.
I don't like how you say peaceful, Neal. I really don't. I don't know what it is.
I told Lucas about how I got to pet an elvish cat, and he was like, it didn't kill you? And I was like, wait, are they that bad? And then he was explaining to me, in Koibu's world, actually everything's very lethal, and I once ran into an elvish cat or whatever. And he was giving all the lore, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, there's a difference. Because when you come across a creature, you go, oh, how cute. How can I be friends with this? And when Lucas comes across a creature, he goes, well, this is clearly a threat, and we should kill it with fire before it has a chance to do something. There's a...
Yeah. And they have Nick in the party, usually, who's chronically bad to animals and who just wants to steal their whiskers for some sort of magic spell. What is it? Feline agility or something,
Cat's grace.
So if they look for an elven cat, they're not trying to befriend it, they're just trying to steal its hair. So that is different.
That's true. Skill diff, babe.
Mr. Moon, I'm so sorry. You're a wonderful person.
We're not sorry. We're not sorry.
Not sorry.
Right.
That's why.
So first question, peaceful forest, jungle of death. Which one of these is an accurate name?
So far, it's been quite peaceful to us, so it depends on who you are.
Clearly labeled Jungle of Death just to scare everyone out of it.
Well, probably humans also that have gone in and maybe not been so welcome.
Yeah, technically humans are not welcome there. We have already figured that out. And since the settlers of Santa Barbara are mostly human, but, you know, there are some other races in there, but mostly human, I think they probably named that place. I doubt that the nareid named the place and then went to the humans and was like, hey, by the way, Forest of Death over there, don't go in, you know, but I figured that's how it went down.
Okay. So maybe not a jungle of death. Anyone want to rename this place?
It's probably a good name as is.
All right.
Yeah, we should keep it like that so people don't come in.
Excellent.
The jungle of death, horror, terror,
Iceland
decapitations.
2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's go. So party. I think where last we left, you had explored for a day, met with the nareid, met with an elven cat, seen some weird water things, giant otter, and we left the party in the jungle, making the decision to either wander around for a while just to see if there's anything else of interest here, or to head back and organize. So where are we going?
Well, I think the thing I want to do is talk to Geraldine, but that seems pretty hard. She's a pretty hard person to find.
I think we still have a bit under 2 weeks until we meet Geraldine, though. So the question is, how do we use that time until then? And I think I think Elaine is looking at the group and she says,
2-week vacation, Elaine?
I don't think so, Vincent. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself, but...
And so no one gets a vacation because you don't know how to spend your time.
I mean, I'm sorry, you know, sometimes being a leader is tough, Neal, and you have to make decisions for everybody. Okay, get with it. I'll say, if there was a chance to somehow turn the powers of this forest against the orcs, we could have a real chance to just take the entire island for ourselves. Or at least have a way, if we had to split it, to defend our half.
That is
We
true.
still can talk to Geraldine after, but if that fails, at least we have a fallback, I think.
Don't you think it would be difficult to convince the spirits here to, like, defend the island who's primarily being inhabited by humans?
Oh no, I don't think it would be difficult. I think it would be borderline impossible, probably. I don't speak to elementals. I have no idea where they come from. I don't know what they want, and as far as I understand it, Vincent is not a great elementalist expert. No offense, Vincent. You know, he has his strengths in other places. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I feel like anything could be possible right here in this place. Maybe we should try it. I don't know. Maybe it's foolish. Maybe you're right. And we should just go back and prepare our defenses. Maybe that is the true way.
I think it's possible if we had a way to prove maybe that we would be committed to making sure that nobody ever came into the forest, and that the orcs are a way bigger threat to the land because they're already excavating, right? They've already gone in, they've gotten materials. We wouldn't do that. We would leave the lands alone. It would just be this settlement. We would never, like, conquer it. We would tell that small town to never go into the jungle of fiery hell and torture, right? And
Yeah.
maybe...
That sounds like a plan. Maybe better would be to venture further into the Jungle of Death and talk to the various nareids here, than to just see that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to talk to the nareds because it could be a tactical advantage, or do you just like the way they talk to people? If you understand what I mean.
How do nareds talk to people?
How would you? Whatever would you mean there, Faye?
I don't know.
Elaine.
I saw how you looked at that nared, Vincent. I might not be, you know, a great romantic person, but I'm also not blind.
Vincent, you have a crush on the nareds?
I just want to make sure we have the right focus here.
Yes, purely for diplomacy. Yes, of course.
Okay, very good.
Is the cat still near us? Can I scritch the cat again?
No, the cat is long gone.
What? You can't just no.
We ended it.
It wandered.
You can't do that to us
after a while.
But I would have seen it leave, Neal. I was betting it at the end of the session.
Sure, you watch it walk away into the woods.
Kitty! Kitty!
Yep.
Kitty, come back. I'll make sure that I try and find you treats. This is fucked up. I mean,
who takes away a cat on Christmas? Like, that's
fucked up. That was the coolest thing in the world.
And you destroyed it, Neal. I'll be for good about yourself. Anyway.
All right. Well, I point on the map. How about we head southeast towards that other pass that we originally met the orcs at? Maybe we'll find some nareds in between.
Closer to the fort, maybe to support us. I think that's a great idea.
Well, I think if we go and catch the kitty cat over there, the elvish one, I think it probably knows the forest very well.
Well, I mean, we can't communicate with it, even if it knows the forest.
No, it understood me the last time we spoke. It just couldn't respond. Or in my language, I wasn't able to communicate back. Like when I told it I was going to name it something, it said, but in elvish cat. It already had a name. It was Firepaw.
You know, if that cat truly loves you, it will come back to you. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, I don't think that it loves me, but I did quite like the cat. We used to have a lot of cats back at the farm with my parents, you know. A lot of mousers.
I'm sure we'll see that cat again, since we'll be in this jungle for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, southeastern direction then, I take it.
Okay.
I hope we don't get lost. I'm not particularly good at navigating thick jungles.
Don't worry, you have an expert cartographer on your side.
All right.
You know what else I realized? That the description of the gingery cat is really like her. And so I called her Firepaw a couple times after last session.
Oh.
She's like my elvish cat.
Oh, that's pretty cute. Okay. We want... They're just doing a little bit of organizing over here. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. So we are walking through the Jungle of Death, maybe also known as the Happy Little Fey Jungle, or the Jungle of Future Elven Societies, or the place where you can exploit the land for all of its wonderful natural resources. Multiple names, multiple concepts. And pretty quickly, during your travel, unprotected by nareds or cats or giant otters, leaving behind the creeks and moving parallel with the mountains, we're going to come across a couple of things of interest. Elaine, as party leader, would you roll me a d10 for surprise to see if you are surprised by this thing, you surprise it, or everyone sort of sees each other at the same time? Yeah, it's about the same time. You come across if this were a forest, it would be called a meadow. It's a jungle, so it's not quite meadow-like. It's more of an area of rocky ground where trees cannot grow, and you've got a little bit of fronds and a little bit of ferns and a little bit of grasses here, but sort of a wider expanse, maybe 30 meters, 40 yards across, something like that. And perched in the middle on one of these rocks is a giant dragonfly. And when I say a giant dragonfly, I mean it's got like a 15-foot wingspan, a 3-meter wingspan. And it's just sort of perched on the rock with its sets of double wings, just gently flexing in the sunshine.
Oh, wow. Look at that beautiful thing.
Do you think it could be dangerous? I've never seen such a big insect.
I think that we absolutely should be cautious.
Oh.
No!
What?
No, be cautious. Just because something is beautiful does not mean that it's not going to try and kill you.
This place was crafted as a paradise for elves. I'm sure that if you approach it, no harm will befall us. Elaine.
Mm-hmm. Not that we have to approach it. I mean, it seems to be doing its own thing on the rock over there, so maybe we just, let it do its thing.
Yeah, we can just look at its beauty and then move on.
Yeah.
I will carefully perceive its beauty with my hand on my hilt.
Sure. It's a big insect. All those little tiny insect hairs are now quite apparent. Beauty must surely be in the eye of the beholder for the... I don't know. If you ever seen a fly under a microscope or something, they're monstrous and hideous. They're cool, totally. But
and dragonfly wings? Are you kidding? They'd look prismatic in the sunshine in a beautiful meadow. That would look
true.
Otherworldly, like stained glass in a cathedral, but blown up huge.
Yes. The one thing you will notice after perceiving this plainly for a little while is that one of its back legs seems to have skewered upon it a small, diminutive, leathery, green-skinned, bipedal, humanoid-looking thing that would be maybe like 3 feet tall if it were standing, but it's just impaled upon the leg.
Oh, like someone stabbed it.
Yeah, well, you're watching this thing. It's on a rock. You start to move around it, and you come around to like slightly the other side of the rock, and you're like, oh, its leg is like going through a small humanoid creature.
What? Hold on. What? Well, how big is that thing? Give it like one more time. How big is the dragonfly?
The dragonfly has a wingspan, something like 15 feet-ish. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less.
Okay.
It's like a house, yeah.
There's an entire orc attached to the foot of that thing.
It's too small to be an orc. It's only like 3 feet tall. Orcs would be like 6 feet tall.
It's
so this is
goblin in it.
It kind of looks like a goblin. It's not quite the same. Like, goblins tend to be a little bit stockier. This thing is kind of scrawny and thin. Maybe like maybe like a starved goblin, or like a goblin kin that you've never seen before. Like maybe a different species of goblin that's not on the lands from which you're from. Or maybe it's just like a distant cousin, or it's about this height.
Stabbed. So that thing stabbed the giant mosquito, okay,
no,
and is attached to the spear, or did the foot stab through that thing?
The foot of the dragonfly is all the way through the very dead, and now that you're really looking at it, partially consumed diminutive creature.
I was slowly backtracking very quietly, incredibly quietly. Biggest stealth check.
Having a meal
with the plate mail.
Yes, you wouldn't think how quietly that's like. It's so quiet.
We are observing it like we would observe a lion eating a gazelle in the wild. Beautiful. Let's get the fuck away.
Apparently it has, I guess this is what we're talking about here, a leg basket. I'm not sure what leg basket means on a dragonfly. But I think that's what this is attached
Elaine
to.
Googling.
I am.
The way that your screen lit up on your face, like, what the fuck is this light basket?
You never know if you can use that to your advantage in D&D, so you gotta learn fast. Like, I fucking don't know. What if it's like a bee, where it just stuffs the pollen in?
These are so cute.
They form an oval-shaped basket with their bristle-covered legs that allows them to scoop insects such as mosquitoes right out of the air. Jesus. Yeah, so in this situation, it has stabbed and scooped this small, diminutive goblinoid, but not quite goblin thing. Anyway,
Noted.
You can walk past it. It seems to be chilling in the sunshine and doesn't seem aggressive.
Cool.
Trump, do you want to inspect this thing for magical components?
Nope, seems good.
Okay, cool. You walk on. It's fine.
Even if it had any, we are not interested. Thank you.
Not fucking with that.
Yeah. Your time in the jungle will reveal to you many of its denizens. You will come across snakes from afar, from up close. They're just kind of doing their own snaky thing. You do come across a rattlesnake at some point, but being rattlesnakes, when you approach, it will rattle to let you know it is nearby because it does not want to fight you. And you can easily bypass these things. The only other thing of interest, I shouldn't say of interest, but of possible threat to you on this day as you continue walking, is this, you hear this like distant echoing sound of like, woo, 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 woo. Some sort of like hooting or hauling or calling.
No, or something of the like. We also had lots of these at the farm because we had a lot of mice. All these things eat mice. There must be a lot of mice in this forest.
Is it like an owl sound when you say hooting? Because the sound you made sounded more like a monkey.
Yeah. It's more like a troop of baboons, which is what you will see as you are discussing this.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be one of your giant monkey monsters.
Jess, would you roll me 10d4 for the number of baboons that you see moving together in a single formation through the jungle? 21 baboons.
It's a lot of baboons.
It's a lot of baboons. Yes.
Like straight up baboons, yeah?
Yeah. They got, as much hit points as a human, as a tough human. They got big teeth. You ever seen baboons? They got big old fangs. And they're pretty strong for their size. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of them. And they're moving together. Walking, swinging, crawling, jumping, climbing, hooting and hollering. And when you do come across them, when you've stopped to hear the sound, and as they begin to approach, they'll stop when they see you and take a big posture, sort of beat on their chest a little bit, and give out some like cries of territorial cries. But they don't initially attack. They don't jump to the front. They don't jump to war.
I think we back away a little bit from the baboons. When they do their territorial things, we will try to circumvent them.
Yeah, and as you back up, they sort of push forward a little bit, making sure to mark their territory, and as their foes flee before them, the baboons, fill the space created by your retreat.
Good, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
They win.
You can avoid them if you're being super chill. And
It reminds me of being like at the dog park. You know how dogs have like dominance hierarchies? There's like an alpha dog, and my dog's a little beta bitch. So when he goes to the dog park, any dog comes up, immediately what he does, he belly flops onto his back, just like that, like belly up towards the sky, and he's just like, oh, please, I'm just like a little submissive boy, please don't hurt me. It's so cute, but that's kind of what we're doing here. We're just like, hey baboons, we don't want any heat, like.
Fight, flight, posture, submit. You are submitting and fleeing and leaving this to the baboons.
No ego. Have your forest, baboons.
Excellent. Yeah. The 20-some baboons are fine to leave you be as they go about the jungle doing their own baboon thing. Eventually, you will come across a stream. Now, you've been looking for nareids, and creeks and streams are where you would think to find them. The stream of the last nareid seemed to have like the main route, and then it had all these other things that led into it. Did anyone get a sense of how much of a stream was considered hers? Like, were the little things that fed into the main creek or river her domain, or was only the main vein her domain?
No, the smaller ones as well, I felt. She said it was like the entire. Well, I'm not sure if this is still part of it, but the entire left part with the smaller creeks as well. But then it stops and doesn't feed into another river. So she said, like, this part is hers and then it stops. And she doesn't connect with any other narrates, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you come across another stream. This is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yep. Well, this is a quiet part of the jungle. You are deep within the shadows. There's the creek stream that runs down here, full of fresh, clean, clear water. There's no signs of danger around you. I mean, there's little creatures. There's beetles and flies and insects aplenty. And you might see some brightly colored squirrels scrambling through the trees. Some birds here and there. Can't really see them. You hear them. They're around, but you don't really see them. But otherwise, it's a very peaceful, quiet little cove.
All right. I take a deep breath. I step forward and I say, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't tell people about this. And I'm going to kneel down and stick my hand into the water.
The waters are cool. They run over your hand, giving it relief from the heat of the day.
I'll call out and I'll say, this is Elaine Pentolin. Is a nareid present? In very normal Drekisian tongue, you know?
Yeah. Very, very polite and formal introduction. And a moment passes and nothing happens.
I'll stand up and say, well, it was a nice idea. Shall we go back to camp? And I'll like dry my hands on my on my pants.
That was very good. Maybe we need to find more water, I'd say. Maybe we should follow this until it gets to deeper waters.
Fine. One more try. I'll give it one more try. And I guess we follow the sidearm until it gets to the big creek, if there is one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can follow this one for a little ways until eventually it will fully intersect with a much larger stream. And I say much larger, and this thing is maybe, the creek is maybe 15 feet across, or the creek bed is, but the water in itself is only maybe 10 feet across, leaving some rocky banks on either side and maybe a 3-foot cliff leading up to the main jungle floor.
I'll look at Vincent. Is this... Do you think this is sufficient, or...?
This might be it. Doesn't hurt to try. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone, I say. I'll be kneeling right behind you.
All right. I guess. I'll walk forward. I'll kneel down. I'll give out a little sigh, stick my hand into the water, and I'll say, this is Elaine Pentolin. Is there any nareid present that I could talk to?
Me and my bodyguard are kneeled behind Elaine as well.
Mm-hmm. Just a little while that passes. How long do you wait? Is this like the nareid should be here right now, or they might take 10 minutes to arrive, or how patient are you?
We waited for the other nareid one morning for her to come out of that river, right?
Yeah.
So how long did it take then? Was it instant?
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes.
All right, I'm waiting 5 minutes.
Yeah, well...
I'll have my hand in the cold river water.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your fingers begin to prune, but eventually, appearing before you, rising from the water, will be another one of these elementals, or elemental kins, taking on, Trump, you are with your bodyguard right behind her. So the nareid will appear with a shawl around her shoulders, hanging over her, looking very similar to the last one. Like, like very, very, very similar, almost identical in body and form, just ever so slight differences. This one might be a little taller, shoulders might be a little bit thinner, face might be a little bit longer, but otherwise, like, the details are uncannily similar. We're gonna have to take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side with a little bit more Rise of Drekis. Where is the break button? There it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of Drekis. Everything is in place. We are putting our hands in the stream, calling out for a nareid, and soon, sure enough, after a few minutes, one will arrive. It's a little bit... you might not have heard this, Peach, but it's looking eerily similar to the last one you saw. Ever so slight differences will lead you to believe that maybe this is a different one, like slightly thinner shoulders, maybe a little taller, maybe like a little bit of a longer face or something, but same sort of shawl that drapes over her, same like really curvy body, same like popping out of the water halfway, like there's a echoey nature to these elementals that you are seeing. And popping out of the water, the nareid will give the assembled party sort of like a warm, receptive glance and look around. Oh, hello. Greetings.
Greetings.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We have already met Skeely. I don't know if you know her. She's the nareid one river over.
Yes, it's my sister.
Oh, she was lovely.
Yes, what a wonderful greeting we received from her.
We are newcomers to this island.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to speak with her yet about this?
Of you? No.
Okay. Just checking.
Well, I am Elaine Pentolin. This is Vincent Mapper. This is Crumpet, who goes by Crumb. This is Vordran. We bring some grave news. We know that this forest is reserved as a safe haven for elves and fey folk. I'll say, scratching my head a little bit. There's a bunch of orcs who have invaded the island and who are currently in the process of trying to take over and gain as much material and wealth as they can from this place.
I see.
And we are very worried about the protection of this safe haven here.
Yes. You are clothed in metals?
Yes, that is true.
Okay. Did you want something from me?
Should I... Oh, I was wondering... Is there a way to bring the jungle on our side to tell it to protect itself from these intruders? I'll say, leaning my head to the side.
Do you want to tell the jungle to protect itself?
Oh, now that you say it, it really does sound like a stupid idea. I don't know why we came up with this plan in the first place.
How?
I'm a little bit at a loss, to be honest. We don't have the troops to keep these people at bay. And I really would like to protect this place, but I don't know how I can.
I see.
You seem awfully unconcerned, I say, assuming that she hasn't really given much reaction.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate assessment.
Wouldn't it be bad for this location for orcs to invade? I asked the nerd.
Well, I'm not very familiar with orcs, but they're not they're not creatures from the Feywild. They seem foreign, like yourself, but you're not dangerous, right? You've been brought here. These orcs are, you say?
I can't confirm this, but given our introduction, it seems like the forest was being protected from anyone that wasn't Fey from entering. It's only because we were guests of Elaine here that we were allowed entrance.
And Elaine deems that the orcs are trying to harm the elves in this sacred forest.
Well, the forest, I didn't know there are currently not many elves around on this island.
Why not? If you're here and orcs are here, or where's everyone else?
That is a wonderful question, and I wish I could answer that.
I think we're here early. Maybe be coming later.
The first settlers, yes.
Oh.
But we saw what the orcs were like in the rest of the island, and they were, well, they resort to much more violent means, and they were plundering the island for its resources, trying to mine and excavate and take the precious metals from the earth.
Plunder's not a nice word.
No, it was awful. That's what they seek to do, to take advantage of this earth because they see it as a resource.
Well, let's not go that far yet. We haven't really grasped the orcs' intentions yet. I've unfurled the map, and basically my map has the two mountain passes that we went through, the one that the orcs were at and the one that we went through. Do you have a general sense of where we're at right now? I've been trying to map. I know that I have the river from the first nareid, and then where we are now.
I'm so sorry. All I know are the bounds of my waterways. I feed many small streams into a lake. Though that is the extent of my domain. Beyond that, there are mountains. Mountains from which the sun rises and sets over, or passes beyond. And that is what I know.
Okay. How many are you, forgive my ignorance, are you all sisters, I ask? Or just you and... Yes, okay.
Yes.
How many of you are here in this jungle?
400 and something.
Oh wow!
I have not counted myself.
Sisters, by how do you become a sister?
You share a parent?
Oh wow! Wonderful. I wasn't sure if it was different for nareids than it was for us.
I think I'm using the right words. This is not my native tongue. Born from the same mother would make us sisters?
Yes.
Then sisters.
Oh, wonderful.
Right. I look at the map that we're at, and I try to gauge where we're at on this map.
Yeah. Now you're a cartographer. You're a good map maker. Would you make me a cartography check? Because while you're great at making maps, your judgment of like how far you might have traveled over land could be a little bit off. And your maps for this region are not perfect yet. They're still being made. So with a 26, that's a pretty good assessment. You can still see this mountain peak over here. And judging by angles on it and everything, you're probably somewhere in this range looking over at this direction. You know, following the creeks means being downhill, which actually means going deeper into the jungle and away from the mountains. But you're still in a spot where you can see this particular peak.
Okay, great. Can we see that peak from where we're at?
Yeah. Well, this one or this one. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I point towards that peak over there. From my knowledge, that's where people can cross the mountains into the jungle. Do you know of that place?
No, it's very high up.
Are one of your sisters watching over that peak or the area?
I don't know. I'm not. We do not intersect here in this land. We only see and meet one another back home. I haven't an idea of who goes where. Except for, of course, those whose creeks and streams also feed into my lake. We share the same great body of water, and each has our own tributary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You seem troubled. Are you not the first people here? As you said, are you not the... Is this not your home? Are you not prepared?
If this is our home, then we need to find a means to defend it. And that is the difficulty, isn't it? There's not much time, and if people are to follow here, then we're just in trouble. They might take over the island before we have the chance to prepare the arrival that might be coming.
Well, that's not how things are supposed to go.
Yeah. You're right, it's not.
Are things supposed to go then? I mean, I thought it would be the great arrival and the safe havens for the elves and the fae folk, but...
Yes, that's what I was...
If it's supposed to be that way, why didn't the gods make it so?
I don't know. You should ask them.
That's true. But unfortunately, they do not talk to me.
Oh.
Do they talk to you? What's your name, Nareid?
I'm Fino.
Oh, hi, Fino.
Do the gods speak to you, Fino?
Sometimes. I've been given... They encouraged me to come here. They helped us arrive. They helped set up... They set up the land and built the terrain and the flows of water and air and stone.
How long ago was that?
130 moons?
And then all of them left?
200 moons? No, they were not here. How do I say this? And she will sort of, dip one of her hands back into the water, and then you'll see a small wave or hill of water rise, and then her hand will kind of come out of it, and the hill will collapse below. And she'll do that motion a second time while saying, I lift the water without breaking the surface of the water. This land is made in a similar way, lifted without being upon it. Is that clear?
I'll look at Vincent.
Yes, makes perfect sense.
I nod. Yeah.
This lifting, did that happen many moons ago? And I try to think to myself how long a moon is.
Maybe like a full moon cycle?
28 days. So you get 12, 13 moon cycles in a year. 130 moons is about 10 years. But her answer doesn't seem to be super precise, right?
Yeah, would that, I think about my history, would that kind of equate to this land rising out 10 years ago?
10 years seems maybe a little bit short. Your impression is that this area might have started to be built, twice that long ago. Maybe in the last 20 years it started to come into existence. But there's also a lot of uncertainty. Like the land was found in process, and no one knows how long it had been growing when it was found.
Right. Okay.
But 10, 20 years is sort of a ballpark figure.
Okay. Do you think, I asked Nareid, if some giant threat were to happen, your god would let you know?
I don't think so.
Okay. If there were a threat to the peace of this land, this is a big ask, but would you come with us to help defend this area?
My creek? Yes, of course I would defend my creek.
How about the creek next to us, to the east?
Your sister's creeks.
The ones that feed into my lake? Of course. The ones that do not touch my lake? No. Certainly not.
Why not? Aren't they all worth protecting?
It's not mine to protect. This is my domain.
But if they came after your sister's creeks, then they might next come for yours if the threat isn't handled. By protecting theirs, they could help protect yours, to keep all the creeks safe. You would technically, for a moment, be helping protect theirs, but in reality it would be in the interest of protecting your own.
How would I know where to go or how to get there? Or I would have to leave behind my stream? Who would watch it? Who would take care of it? Where would I go? How would I survive?
I suppose that is true. She would have to leave her own creek.
We are not like you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not tied to your land. What you ask what you ask is impossible.
Okay. I suppose it makes sense. But if they came after your creek or the creeks that connect into yours, you would be willing to help defend those.
This is my creek. It is my domain to care for. I am the steward of it. I will care for it as best as I can.
I think I understand. Okay.
Are you not the proper denizens?
I am a halfling. I am only here because of Elaine. Elaine believes that we are...
You ask very strange questions. Very strange questions.
I'm trying to learn my best, but of course, I am not so aware yet, so I must ask strange questions first to be informed after. I have asked so many strange questions in my time.
Okay.
I can give you an explanation if you want one.
I suppose.
I'll say, so, where I originally come from, before I arrived here, is a place of great wars and much danger. Oh. And one of the greatest dangers has recently been slain. It was a giant red dragon. That red dragon has destroyed much of the lands of the humans, and of the lands of the elves as well. And when the fight hit its peak, the elves left.
Okay.
And we assume that they left to settle somewhere else, to go somewhere safe. But they never came here. Not the others, at least. And we don't know if they will still come or not. If it just takes some more time. Or what exactly is happening with that part. So, I would very much like to keep this place safe. But I am currently... Well, we're currently only two half-elves, to be honest, who can take care of it.
You're filled with much self-doubt and fear.
Well,
I'm familiar with these emotions.
Imagine you wouldn't have to just look after your own creek. But you came here by yourself and all the other creeks were empty. And you were being told that you will have to protect all... You don't have to protect all the creeks. You know, this is only your creek. But if you don't protect all the other creeks, then they will fall to the enemy and everything that you will see will be destroyed and will be gone. And everything that you love will be taken away from you. And then your single creek has not much value anymore. And that's the situation I'm currently in. So I am very much wanting to protect my creek here and protect all the creeks around it, but there's only so much power I wield. You know, the gods talk to you when they... Or, you know, I do the rippling motion with my hand and I say, when you first came here, and for some of us it's much more subtle, they don't talk to us that way. They will just give you a feeling what is right or wrong. I get that feeling usually after a lot of pacing, and I know what to do. But when I stepped foot into the jungle, I knew that this is a wonderful place that's worth protecting. And I would love to protect it, but I can only protect so much, and there's an entire village of people that needs me.
So what will you do?
So
this sounds like a very serious and dangerous question.
I don't know what to do. I think, as beautiful as that land is, I don't think it is equipped to defend itself against such a threat. I don't think the denizens of this place have any idea what it's like to fight to the death and truly protect their place. In a sense, it's not just preserving, but actually defending. And I'm not sure I can put that on you.
The nareid seems uncomfortably unconcerned with the dangers you face, as if these problems are happening to someone a million miles away.
Yeah, I get that. It's a... I'll tell her, I don't know how much you understand about moral concepts. I've once read a book which talked about how distance matters greatly in how concerned we are about someone's well-being. So we care very much about our own creek and we wish to defend it. But the further the creek is away, that is, for example, attacked, right? The further that creek is away from our creek, the less concerned we are. And the less willing we are to defend that place. Not because we're not a good person, but simply because it's just an emotion that doesn't stir in us.
Okay.
It's like the gods have told us that we should be concerned with all creeks instead of just one. Your duty is to protect your creek, but our duty from the gods is to protect all the creeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think you understand what that feels like. I don't think you would know. Yeah. Is there any creature that is concerned with the whole jungle except for myself? Have you ever met anybody?
I don't know. You're the first native of this realm that dwells on land with which I have spoken.
And
I'm mightily unfamiliar with the rest of the earth.
Right, and you haven't met any creature around here that is capable of speaking, that traverses the lands and doesn't just stay in its own boundaries.
That is right.
Okay.
You were the first to visit my waters and speak with me.
Okay.
Right.
Did you say your water connected with other of your sisters?
Yes.
Some.
There are 5 of us, and we all share one great lake.
Okay. Does that lake go north?
North? Away from the mountains.
Yeah.
A little bit. If you follow here, you will come to it. You will head towards the sunrise, and then away from the mountains, and come to our home.
Oh god, sunrise east, west?
East.
East, okay. Oh, very good. We were heading towards the sunrise. Could you lead us that way?
Just follow the water.
Okay. We will. Thank you.
She'll sort of stand there, half out of the water, just kind of watching with that not bland, but it's not ditzy, but it's like unconcerned. It's like the customer service face mixed with like a little bit of I'm not really involved. You know, like if you see something happening across the street and you're like, wow, that's really interesting, and someone yells at you and you're like, yeah, sure, but like, not my business. It's not. There's like a lack of connection that almost makes it look ditzy's not the right word, but
I want to ask her. Oh, super random question. Do you know anything of the? I don't know what they're called. They're big bugs. They look like dragonflies, if you know what that is. Large wings and buggy eyes.
there are large winged creatures that visit and drink from my waters, yes?
Buggy eyes, and I just described everything that I saw in detail. I'm just trying to get like a sense of like, does she know of them?
Yeah, when you put enough detail into it, her head will bob, the water will slosh.
What about the tiny green ones? About this size, green, bipedal, probably drink water. My guess is they live in groups, possibly in a cave or a hut. Probably smell not very nice. I mean, I'm just making assumptions here based on what I've learned so far, but...
Yes?
Probably timid, easily to intimidate.
I think I know of what you speak.
Do they live anywhere around here?
I don't know. They don't live in my waters, nor adjacent to them. They don't speak.
Oh, they're not... You said we were the first beings you've met.
I've spoken
Those aren't
with
beings? Oh.
I've not spoken with these green-skinned spear hunters.
Oh.
I did not know that they speak.
Where do they drink? If they come to drink, where do they drink from?
From the lake, and my sisters say they drink from their streams, further towards the sunrise.
Hmm.
Thank you. We'll be on our way then.
May
wish you
Illumis
all
light
the
your
best.
path.
I'll take her hand and I'll say, I want you to know that if I just want you to know how blessed you are. That's all I'll say, and I'll gently squeeze her hand. I'll say, you can be very happy and very fulfilled, for I'm sure you have been blessed with something much greater than we can possibly understand.
I don't know what you mean, but I think your words are intended to convey compassion and empathy, and so I appreciate them.
Oh, if we stumble upon one of your sisters in the future, and we want to, like, in our cultures we do something nice for people when we see them sometimes, is there anything nice that we could do, like put flowers in the water, or is it a kindness to drink from the water, or I'm not really sure. See, that's why I'm asking.
There is only kindness. Kindness is our... How does one... Respect for the water might be the best translation. Respect for the bed and the shores and the berms and the beams and the rocks and the roots and the creatures within. But this is... This is not so much kind as it is, or is non-mean?
Yes.
Is kindness the absence of meanness? In that case, do not be mean and you shall be kind?
No, of course we would want to respect the waters. I was thinking not something that is not just the absence of mean, but more the present giving of more kindness. Of something...
I don't understand.
Yes, like... Do you know what a present is? Like a gift?
No.
Oh.
It's when you
Sometimes
hand one thing to another person.
Like, do you know what a cookie is?
No. But she will reach one hand back into the water and pull up some pebbles from the bed of the creek and hand them over to you. I give you gifts.
Oh, thank you. No, but that's not what I was wondering about. It's more like, do you eat anything? Do you have anything that you like?
No.
Well, for us, we like certain things, like when we eat or drink very crisp water. It is a good experience. It feels nice.
You murder to sustain yourself. I understand.
Yes, but
And it is the job of fish to be murdered for sustenance.
have you ever had a pebble that is really shiny and beautiful?
Yes, I have.
An especially beautiful pebble that has brought you more contentment than the others.
Yes?
We have that too. Not pebbles, but other things. And sometimes if we find what is like a special pebble to show that we care so much for someone else, we will give them that pebble so that they will enjoy it. And that is like a gift. So I was wondering if anything like that exists. I don't think so anymore, but I was just wondering.
Wow, we are so weird.
You would give up part of who you are to another person?
Oh no, not part of who we are. That sounds...
It depends on the gift. Sometimes we do.
Are the pebbles not part of your home? Your domain?
I'll say, sometime, if you value something very much, right, and you give it to another person, you will feel richer after giving it up, because you know the other person will also find happiness in that pebble you've given. So you feel happiness for having had that pebble and gratitude for the time you spend with it. And the other person will also enjoy the newfound pebble. So the overall enjoyment will be greater after you've given something up that you valued.
This is very strange.
Yes,
I don't understand.
apologize. It's okay.
Let me.
Can you sense the kindness? You said you sent. Can you sense the kindness in me?
Sweet words, I understand, but
Yes.
distributing pebbles, I do not. Yeah. Yes. Strange
How
human.
do you have fun around here?
Oh. I lay in the sunshine. I swim down the rocks. I glide gracefully and gently. I bask in the glory of all that I hold. I speak with my sisters. We splash. We move with the fish. We support the ducks and other creatures
Yes.
gently
Fun is
from under.
very important. It would be bad if you wouldn't be able to have fun, right?
It would be unfun. It would be sad.
Yes, we are trying to make sure that you continue to be able to have fun. And
Why would I not?
well,
What would stop me?
there's a potential problem, which isn't important yet, but could be in the future. Supposing
Doesn't that describe all problems?
Yes, but yes, if orcs came and took over your stream, then you wouldn't be able to bask in the sun and play with your sisters.
Or
Which would,
protect your creek. They would seek to hurt it, I think.
Why could one, what do you mean destroy a creek? Reshape it? Dam it? Block it? To what end? There would be no, that would be wanton destruction for no rhyme or reason or purpose. Who would do such things?
If you put up a mine to mine resources, right, then all the dirt that comes from the mountain will be washed into the creek, and all the fish in there will die, and there will be no more living creek. It's just a side effect. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody wants to do it. It can just happen because they have a different goal.
But who would cause such harm?
People who
the
don't
gods
consider
not
that-
spoken to you? Yes, about people who
people-
don't consider evil.
These are strange and foreign concepts to me. I am new to this world. I've been here only 100 or 200 moons. I do not fully comprehend the intent. Would someone not realize that? Why would I get a bear may no, what? But you're here
It
to
is
stop
hard to
this from
understand.
happening, yes? You say that
Yes,
there is
yes.
danger that looms near, and that these creatures you call orcs will intentionally or unintentionally kill me,
maybe
and that
we
it
don't
is
know
your
yet.
Maybe.
and that you are here to save me and
To
all
protect
around.
you. To protect you so that you may continue to protect your creek. We do not seek to take your job in protecting your creek.
Thank you, I suppose I should say.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What are your
Well, I
sisters'
think-
names, by the way?
Oh, you bastard.
How many did you have? Did you have 5? I think it was.
No, 400.
but share the lake with her.
Yeah.
We have Deximen, Dione, Glenny, Ferusa, and Sepio.
What about the others?
No, we
Excuse
don't
me?
have to worry about those yet. And you were, again? I have such a short memory.
Fino.
Amphipheno.
Okay. All right, thank you. We're going to go towards the sunrise, and perhaps meet more of your sisters.
I hope you do not distress them as much as you have distressed me. I feel worry bubbling through me.
Oh no, we just haven't talked with many of you yet. I think our talk with the others should be much more happy.
Should there not be many of you? Should this place not crawl with elves?
In time.
Eventually.
Okay. Well, I
Always
trust
one
that you know what you're doing, and you will do the right thing.
Thank
For
you.
all creatures seek to do the right thing in this realm, is it not the truth? You all embody your inner natures? You all care for your homes?
Yes.
The most of us, yes.
Well, then I'm sure everything will work out.
Yes.
I nod.
Splendid.
Fine. Well, for your efforts, I'll say. And out of my, I'll open up my necklace that I'm wearing, and I'll fiddle off a signet ring, and I will hand her the signet ring, and I'll say, this is a pebble I found on one of my adventures. It has taught me a great many things. It's a signet ring of one of the goblin stompers. Said about great ideals. I think you should have it.
I thank you. Is this the pebble you speak of?
It is one of my most treasured pebbles, yes.
And you no longer wish to have it. I understand.
I wish for you to have it. I am not throwing it away. I want you to keep it safe and to treasure it.
Ah, I will hold it for you until you return.
No, it's not for me. It's yours. You can put it with your pebbles now.
Okay. May Nadinus bless your walk. And the nareid will slip into the water, and you can actually kind of see the ring as it quickly, sort of bolts downstream towards the lake.
Wonderful. I'll look at the others and I'll say, do we really want to talk to 4 nereids and then find the green goblins in hope they might...
I don't know.
Is this,
But if we were to ever meet a nareid who, I think the thing that might ingratiate us with the nareids is if one of them has been mistreated, we can name drop a few other nareids and say that we're cool with them.
I'm just not sure if we are not just making things more difficult for them. Are we actually protecting them, or are we hurting them in sharing our knowledge?
Well, once we find a nareid if we find a nareid that hasn't had the same blissful ignorance, then we can talk to them.
Yeah, maybe if we gauge, I don't know, maybe they're not, if the gods haven't warned them about anything, are they supposed to be worried? This seems like terrifying to come to grasp with, like, it's like giving Eve a bite of the apple. She's like, there's bad in the world? What do you mean? That's terrifying. Right. So I don't know. Maybe we get a grasp of if they've been fucked over.
Yeah, I think the more towards the sunrise we go, the more that we might find evidence of this. Or hopefully not.
Yeah.
Fine, let's just hope we don't find any more of those giant dragonflies.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're the elves, right? Or kind of, but supposed to be a safe haven. I don't think they'd want elves getting eaten. And you're at least half of one, so...
Well, elves are very strong and very long-lived. I'm pretty sure one of them could probably take on that giant dragonfly.
Yeah.
Well, then surely we can, too.
Hopefully. All right. East.
Eastward.
Eastward we go. Our party can venture for some time, and eventually the sun will set. The jungle is not exactly easygoing terrain. It's not flat. It's not clear. There's a constant little scramble up and down and around, and having to watch your step for pitfalls, small animal holes, pointy rocks, and all manner of impediments. We will rest another night in the jungle. How many days of food supplies did you bring when you came out here?
Good question.
Let me have a look. 4 total.
Okay.
Per person.
1,
4 total per person.
2. So this is day 3. You have 1 more day of food. But hey, maybe you can scavenge food from the jungle. It's probably fine.
Well,
there a
Vincent
role
did have
for that?
herbalism. I think he said. Oh no, that wasn't the other place where you gathered. That was for the orc meeting. Yeah. Okay. We can try to do some scavenging, I guess.
I think that we should probably try and scavenge today, no? To see if we can
Well,
extend.
maybe the nerds will also provide us with some. I don't know. Maybe they don't like it if you eat their fish.
Well, they
Why
said
not?
it was there for eating.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
maybe
fish
they
served
can
a
provide us
purpose.
with some fish.
Yeah, maybe if we ask them nicely, they'll just bring us fish.
Well,
They might
if they
think that
don't
we're
give us
strange.
if they don't give us any food today, we'll have to turn around because I'm not starving.
Oh, we're capable adventurers. We'll find food.
Okay. Well,
Would you like to ask a nareid today for a fish?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
Wonderful.
been walking along a creek, so
yes. I guess I did sort of skip over that. You walk along the creek, you will find the lake before the sun goes down. I kind of skipped over that wildly important detail. It is a decent sized lake. It's definitely like less than a mile across, maybe a quarter mile, maybe a half mile one way. And it's not exactly like a perfect oval. It's got all these little, branches that go off in different directions. And you are presently on the southwest side of the lake.
I almost laughed to myself on thinking of this idea. So, do we want to fish or do we want to just have the nerds bring us food?
Well, you should talk to them and ask them. We wanted to introduce yourself anyway, right?
I think that you should introduce yourself first, Lane, as you are the one who, we are only your guests, so they might find it weird that the inferiors are speaking to them.
I don't think we have to worry about that. I just kind of call out to the in general, Fino.
Yeah, after some time, the nareid will return. She'll wander over to the edge, remaining half submerged in the lake shore.
Fino, we're kind of hungry. Could you bring us some fish?
She looks back to the water. There they are.
We're not very good at catching them. Could you help us?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
What do you mean you can't catch them?
We think
Is that
you're
not
a
your
lot
nature?
better. You're a lot better at it, right?
I cannot help you with this. It is the war between you and the fish that is the natural way of things. If I were to intervene, I would be a terrible hostess. I do not begrudge you killing my guardian, those within my charge for your own sustenance, but I certainly will not help you.
That is
I
understandable.
see. Thanks, Fina.
You are strange people.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she will go.
Yeah. You might want to do a little land foraging, unless you guys are good at fishing.
Yeah, I think
We're
just
fishing
gonna have
with
to
what?
do that.
Our bare hand? Is this like, you can wade in until you're up to your knees and then try to catch one with your hands kind of
See,
deal?
this is why we should have had the elvish cat. We would have said, Firepaw, fuck up a fish for us. Firepaw would go, get a fish in one claw.
I think it's interesting that you think if you could speak with cats, they would do what you wanted them to do.
No, I think that it would be like, cats historically, if they like you, they go out, they think that you're kind of useless to begin with, they kill small game, and they love to bring it back to you. That's a fact. They wouldn't do much if you asked them. But killing something for you and bringing it back, cats fucking love that. They
Yeah.
love it.
I would love to sustain myself on mice until this jungle adventure is over. That would be fantastic.
Better than dying, Better than dying.
Well, I don't know how much cats love to swim in lakes and catch fish, but either way, there is no cat nearby. The party is on their own.
It's fucked up.
Oh no, we're losing the war against the fish. I think the best we can do is just gather the herbs, which are much easier than the fish.
Yes.
Yeah. You can find some things to eat and snack on. You can use maybe a half a day ration if you forage this morning and this evening and tomorrow morning. If you're going to be traveling and foraging, it will slow your rate of movement down. Not a huge, terrible deal.
If we forage for an entire day and get half a ration, we're still starving, then we still have to turn around. I'm just putting it out there. We can't move on half a ration.
Oh, it's because we're traveling. I think if we were to focus on foraging, we could net positive, right?
Yes. Your assumption...
Positive as in more for for at least 2 days, or... How positive?
In a place like this, in theory, if you are... There's such abundance here, and there is seemingly a lack of predators here, and there's seemingly plenty of things to be found. If you successfully forage for a day, you should be able to make 1/4 day progress in a direction. That is to say, finding a way to sustain yourself in this area without a survival proficiency will take about half to 3/4 of your day of movement. So you could travel and forage, but your movement will be very slow.
We've traveled for how many days so far?
This is the end of your second day in the jungle, but the first day you really just kind of went up and down the one creek without going east or west.
So we have about 5 more days.
I am a very good fisherman.
So we have about 4 more days before we need to turn around.
Don't worry, we can gather as much fish as we want. I kind of look into the lake. Is it obvious there's a lot of fish in there?
As you watch the lake, you will see from time to time fish, but it's not huge schools swimming everywhere. But you stand in the water and you look for a little while, and then you'll see, there's a whole bunch of the little tiny bite-sized guys coming around, and maybe a couple of larger ones over there. And the little ones will come up towards the shallows and start picking at things in the sand and mud, and the larger ones stay a little bit further out. Every now and then you'll see a fish blop and break the surface as it grabs insects off the top.
Don't worry, we'll be fine.
Excellent.
I would say reassuringly. Not today, because I haven't prepared the proper fishing spell, but tomorrow we'll be fine.
Tomorrow? All right, then.
You have a fishing spell.
I do have a fishing spell.
That's so great.
I guess we can just do normal foraging for the rest of the day, then.
Mm-hmm.
Set up camp next to the lake, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
We set up camp. We rest. We're going to take a short break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to see what the party's going to do. It sounds like you're looking for a way to get to that pass. So we'll figure it out on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rise of Drekis, Chapter 2. We've spoken with some nareids. They don't seem too concerned about the dangers you're facing. They also don't seem to know much about what's going on in the jungle. In fact, I dare say the nareids are practically useless, except for that first one that seemed to be keeping people out of the jungle. But this last one seems just sort of like, la la la, I have a creek, la la la, world is fine, la la la,
He was just born 10 years ago, so I don't know. Try talking to a 10-year-old.
We based not a 10-year-old, that's a 2-year-old. But anyways, we based our opinion on how useful they would be off of the first one. Unlucky.
Well, what now, party?
I learned over the break that apparently I need to actually burn my spells to learn new spells.
Yeah, but I think most of the time you can just burn them the night before, and that's kind of what I was assuming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you've been a spellcaster in 2nd edition campaigns before. I just assumed you remembered how it worked.
I need to be more careful if I ever prepare one of those 6-hour casting spells then.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any 6-hour casting spells?
No, but there's one that I was considering getting at some point.
Yeah, maybe don't take that one unless you're
about to do it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, here we are. You're in the jungle. You wake up the next morning. It's fine.
In
Life
the morning,
is okay.
I begin our war against the fish by casting magic missile on fish.
Base, yeah.
You
are. And they're toasted too. They come out
You are a 4th level caster, so you get 4 magic missiles, and you can kill 4 fish, and you can feed the party. Done.
Nice.
Easy peasy. I assume, you take however long, 5 to 20 minutes to wait until you can see 4 large fish, and I'm just going to assume you take all the appropriate precautions. And
Very
it's
good.
done. And the fish are dead. And the war is won.
I was reading the chat, and they're making fun of us for losing the fish. Okay, very good. Let's head to that mountain pass then. I think we might be able to make it today.
Might be another day or so. You're only making like 10 miles a day through the jungle. So yesterday, maybe you made a little bit too much progress. It'll take a little bit longer.
Okay.
And the vibe I'm getting from the party is avoid potential conflicts.
Yeah.
All right. So we're
Unless the conflicts can talk.
We'll try to...
We would be willing to talk to a conflict. It's not a giant insect.
Got it.
Yeah.
Or a
Basically,
baboon.
Avoid them, meet the streams, but only, talk to the nerds, which have talked with other beings before.
Okay. Well, later in that day, you'll be walking alongside one of the streams that leads into the opposite side of this lake. If you want to stop and put your hand in and call the nareid and speak to it, you can. You can have a short chat. It, much like the other sister that leads into this lake, is pretty oblivious to all of the evils in the world and thinks that everything is just like a perfect, natural, harmonious, in balance place where no one would do anyone else harm, because why would you do that? Naive, oblivious, hopeful. I don't know how you want to describe these creatures, but they seem completely unconcerned with the dangers of orcs in this world. Completely unconcerned. Peachachoo, will you roll me a 1d100 and do not roll a low number?
I don't have very good luck, Neal.
You might not, but I want to see a non-low number from you.
100. Not a low number. I'm going 90 or above here.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's great. We're just going to skip a couple of days then, because you rolled a 97. And one...
Skip a couple of days.
as you travel to the mountain pass. You get there
It's just
without
a time
danger.
skip spell. Okay, get it. All right.
Things go well for the party. There are no monsters.
Okay,
there are no
thank you.
dangerous
Really
things.
well.
Appreciate it.
Very well done. Somewhere
thank you.
on August 22nd, you will arrive at the base of the mountain, and you can look up and you can see that there is this like cut through on the mountain that looks like the cut through on the maps that you've drawn, and judging by the distance to the other points and triangulating that with the map that you've got from Vincent Mapper, this has got to be San Marcos Pass. Old San Marcos Pass that runs through the mountains. This has got to be the spot.
Great. I look for the closest source of water near here.
Yeah, there's like a little tiny stream that you can find nearby. It's so like a little tributary. Are you looking for a bigger one, like a creek, like
Yeah,
a
we should follow
nareid
that
dwelling?
one until we go to a nareid.
Yeah, soon enough. Following this around, you will find another little nareid stream, or what looks like it would probably be a nareid stream. You're getting kind of familiar with these at this point. And you can step forward, you can reach into the water, you can call for the creature, and after some time passes, soon enough, another one of these practically identical, very like, they've got like the shoulders and hips and the waist curve of like an ocean wave, just like this really rounded out figure that is not quite humanly possible. But they all have these shawls on them, and they're all sort of made of water. Did I ever show you a picture of a nareid? I don't know if I did. Elemental kin. Nope, that's an air one. That's a fire one. That's a water one. Well, no, that's not right, because she's more watery and less fleshy looking. She's more like the water snake next to her in terms of like coloring. But
Oh, cool.
you know, oh, the camera's trying to blur. Having cameras that blur automatically are bad. I'll find another way to give you an image. Anyway, there's an nareid. She pops up. She says hello.
Hi, have you seen any other beings that have tried to talk to you, or seem like sentient? No, not sentient, but like intelligent. Not that either. People with purpose. Humanoids.
Yes. The things that walk on two legs.
Let me guess, they pass along that road that runs through the pass over here.
No, they come and drink from the stream.
What are they?
I don't know.
Okay, can you describe them in colors and sizes, and possibly amount of feet they walk on?
2 feet, and she'll lower herself until she's like just at her rib cage about, and then like reach to the top of her head. Yay height. Color of new leaves.
Do they talk to each other?
Not that I've heard, and not in any language I would understand. But many creatures make sounds beyond my comprehension. The birds chirp, the insects buzz.
Do they make sounds like this? And I try to do a imitation goblin, which I've heard from you before. It's like, help me, help.
She will chuckle at your imitation goblin and then shake her head and say, no, not at all like that. I heard no such noises. But you're very funny.
I nudge him with my elbow.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Thanks, bye.
All right, you move on. Here you go. This is somebody else's nareid, but I like this one. This is a pretty good. Oh, we'll make it bigger so it can be seen. Voila. There, nareid. Done.
Oh, no wonder Elaine thinks I like this.
Yep.
Where have you posted it?
On the map. In Roll20.
Ah, yes.
Yes. For all to see.
You know, if you really wanted to fall in love with a water creature, I think with that one you have the slimmest chance. In a positive sense.
So beautiful.
Lovely little water creatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
beautiful.
think women like it when men make them laugh. I heard, at least. Krob probably can talk about that.
Best dating advice I've ever heard. I think women like it when men make them laugh. Maybe. Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you leave this one behind. What then? What now?
Well, that's a good sign. They aren't aggressively attacking the narreds.
That is a good piece of information to glean. This nareid, whose stream seems to be quite close to the pass, has not had any violent or dangerous interactions with the orcs and doesn't seem to be very aware of them at all.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which means they probably didn't cross that stream. Which means they might just stay in the east and have no interest in the western part of the island, at least so far.
Excellent.
Maybe one further stream to the east is how far we should go to then, because they'll definitely have went between here and there.
Well, one more stream? One more stream. Yeah?
Of course, one more stream,
One
then we'll
more,
turn around
just
and look
one.
for the goblins.
Excellent. You keep going east. The pass begins to fall behind you. You're not really sure how you would get there. You know, the entrance might be any number of places. There might not even be a walkable pass on this side, but you know, near the top there certainly is. And eventually you'll come across another one of these big areas. You follow small creeks until you hit a large creek, and it's heading in the opposite direction, so these two streams would never feasibly intersect. And you come to the water, and you put your hand in, just like always, and you call the nareid, and you stand around, and you wait for the nareid to arrive. And you wait. And you wait. And after a long enough bit of waiting, you're getting the impression the nareid is not arriving.
Is there no nareid in this river? In this creek?
She might have died.
No. Perhaps we visit one of the most neighboring creeks to this one and see, like, if there's any connections between this creek and another one. Surely the connected nareds would know.
Hopefully. And we can follow this creek and see if there's any signs of a nared body, or if this is a large enough creek that there are multiple nareds, perhaps. That would normally be in this one.
All right. You want to follow this one downstream and see if that connects to anything more interesting?
Yeah, or if we find a nared.
Yeah.
Yeah. You follow this creek and follow this creek and follow this creek until you come across a pool. But this pool does not seem to be very natural. On the far end of the pool, you can see a crude dam constructed by felled trees, sort of just lopping over a section, and then what appears to be mud and twigs and branches shoved in between the fallen trees to form a rudimentary dam.
I don't think we're going to find any narratives around here.
Yeah, I guess the question would just be whether or not this one was killed.
Would you like to inspect the dam? I've told you what you see from afar and assumed you have not walked all the way up to it.
I think we're going to walk up. I want to have a look if I can see marks of axes, or if this was like a more natural dam building process by somebody who might actually live in the forest.
No,
You want me to like stealthily check it out? So that if there's like danger or something up there. I don't know.
I mean, you're a halfling. You people are proficient woodcutters. Sure, go ahead. I think you know probably more about this than I, so why not?
Little halfling friend, little crumpet,
Yes.
good old Crumpy Crump. Would you make me a hide in shadows and a move silently check? If these are passed, we need no concerns. If they are failed, we will use normal spotting checking rules in case there is something here. But since you're trying to sneak,
Hide in shadows
hide in shadows
and move silently?
and move silently. Yeah, make them both. Oh, just barely botched them. So you are doing your best to hide in shadows. You're doing your best to move silently. If there is something to spot you, we will use normal spot checking rules, because in this area, the thickness of the jungle perhaps is making it too hard to move silently. And maybe everything is too shadowed to use the hide in shadows, which really plays on the tricks between lights and darks. And yeah. Anyway, you can walk up, hiding between bushes, sneaking between rocks, and as you're getting towards the dammed section, you come across the areas where these trees have been felled from, and you can see in an instant that these are felled by axes. And you can see in the soft mud near the shore of the probably pretty new lake or pond or whatever you want to call it, the prints of horse hooves.
The print of horse hooves, like a
yes.
big one.
I mean, it's a horse. I don't know.
The prints. Sorry, I thought you said prints.
No, not the fresh prints of horses. The imprints of horse hooves in the mud.
I'm so sorry. I thought you said the prince of horse hooves, and I was like the king of all horse hooves. Like, okay.
No.
Sorry.
That sounds like a pretty big print to me. I agree.
Yeah.
Adjacent to these horse imprints are the paw imprints of a very large dog, like something the size of those wargs that you fought within the keep back in the outpost near Santa Barbara.
Any like tufts of fur on like nearby plants?
Nope.
Okay.
Anyway, you can keep going, and you can see that the dam, like you see the trees that are chopped, and you get to the dam, and it's very clear this is a man-made or orc-made or goblin-made dam of some kind. Yeah. The water does.
Back to the party.
It's not a perfect dam. The stream does continue beyond it, but it does stop enough of the water to like form a large pool, and then just some leaks and trickles through and flows over the tops and the sides.
I'll go back to the party and explain what I saw. And I will let them know. I'll say Why did you roll the dice?
Would you make me a dexterity check, little crumb?
I don't like that you rolled the dice.
Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to weird you out by making dice rolling sounds, but there's not actually anything that's happening. But you need to make the die roll just in case.
But I also have to roll.
Right, and so because nothing's happening, the 34 that you've rolled here doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Nothing's happening at all.
Yeah, nothing's happening. It's all lies. It's all misinformation.
Cute. Well, I'll go back to the party and be like, well, it looks man-made or orc-made. But I do have a theory that maybe because this stream or creek is dammed, that maybe the nareid can't freely roam. She is also stuck on that side, perhaps. Doesn't seem to be anyone here, but there were very strangely horse hooves and then big, thick paw prints. Yeah.
It's a very optimistic reading of it. Hopefully the nareid is just stuck on the other side. I think back on the nareids we've met, though, they seem pretty agile, right? They could probably jump the dam, I would guess.
Yeah, they've walked out of the water before. You would expect a nareid should at least be able to walk around it, if not jump over it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the nareid's not alive then. You killing a nareid? They're watery.
It's pretty mean. I think we need to investigate to see if we can find a nareid body.
Well, you want to go over there to the dam with the war prints and the horse prints where all the orcs are. That's where you want to walk right now.
Yes, we need evidence that they've slain a nareid.
And then what? You're going to show it to the other nareids? And
possibly. We could then bring it up at least. They might be more concerned if they learn that their sisters are dying.
I don't think the nareids would necessarily need proof. I mean, I think that it would be unbelievable for them or like hard to comprehend, but I think that they're also very trusting.
Yeah, if we brought back a piece of nareid, that would probably be...
I think that'd be traumatizing.
Sure would be.
They've been scared about talking about the existence of badness in the world. I think if we bring them a piece of their sister, they're gonna be like, how'd you get this piece? Huh? Like, they might be suspicious of us.
No, they won't be suspicious. I think we should try to find evidence of a nareid.
well, I think we should circumvent this dam then by a good bit. Because if there are orcs, if there are horse prints here, like hoof prints here, that means that they probably come here more often. I think hoof prints in the jungle have to be made very consistently to stay for a long time.
We also have diplomatic immunity at the moment, right? We're guests of the orcs.
Vincent, I don't know how much you know about diplomatic immunity, but it does not work if some grunt shoots you with an arrow in the jungle where they can't see you properly, okay? That usually works in a castle or in a big capital, but I don't think in the jungle of death, diplomatic immunity is something I would bet my life on.
We just have to name drop, what's his name? I look at my notes.
Yes.
Mock the Rock. We'll just say, hey, if you shoot us, Mock the Rock will have your head. And they will stop shooting.
And we will name drop them whenever they capture us, right? And bring us to their castle. That is when we parley, okay? But we will not try to parley if we can. We will try to be polite, okay? And accept that this area is not for us to cross. And we will circumvent. Okay, and if we get captured, you can parley all you wish.
Got it. Stealthily investigate.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So we're not going straight to the dam, Neal. We would like to find a way that circumvents that place by a little bit at least, so we can go around. Perhaps
Can I also ask the hoof prints and stuff and the paw prints that were there? What material were they in?
They were impressed into the soft mud on the shore of the lake.
Soft mud, so reasonably that would be quite fresh, because I feel like a soft mud print, unless it's dried, would be a fresh print.
Okay.
Oh.
That's your
What he's
assessment. I'm
saying
not gonna.
is, none of us are survivalists, so we will never know. You can make a good guess and think that is probably right, and then we're moving on with our lives. So
Valid.
it could be very much true, or we have no fucking clue what's going on, and we just go with whatever makes us happy. So.
All right. So this is our very rough map that we're going to be using over here. There's this creek that leads into this big pond, and there's a dam on the far side, and then the creek, continues beyond. The tracks that you have found, what's a color that'll show up well? Why don't we just do black? Are in this zone right over here near the lake shore. There we go. So if you want, you're on the south side. You can just take a nice big berth around this and then meet up with the river creek later on and continue on. Was that the plan? Or was this like a walk around until we find the prince and then follow the prince wherever they may go?
Oh, no, the first one.
All right. Easy peasy. You walk around and it's fine. Can everybody else that is not Krob, including Vorden, make me a dexterity check? For no reason.
Wonderful.
Just to, increase everyone's suspicion and paranoia.
Yeah.
And how could four people pass dex checks? It's crazy.
All right. I like sling traps. They're my favorite, really. I prefer them greatly over pitfalls. I don't know about you, Neal, but I feel like we might figure out.
Well, look at that. They're passes across the board. Okay. You make your way around everything with no dangers whatsoever. Life continuing as great as possible. Let's get rid of this scary music. We don't need the scary music anymore. It's fine. You reach the downstream section after making a nice big way around and can continue following the creek.
Yeah.
Can we check the creek here again?
Yeah,
I called not very loudly, but just kind of towards the water. Hi, we're looking for the nareid here. As we, I don't expect an answer, but just in case.
Yeah, if you wait a while, it doesn't come. Maybe this one's maybe it's a really big creek and it takes her a long time to arrive. But after 10 minutes, all the other ones showed up within 5 to 10 minutes. And this one hasn't after 10, so what are you gonna do?
From our, is this the higher side of the lake now, since there was a dam?
You are now on the lower side. The water flows in that direction.
Oh, when we were on the higher side, did we see any nareid bodies in the water?
Nope. But when submerged in the water, they do look just like regular water. So they might not float on the surface.
Well, their shawl might look different, right? They don't have a see-through shawl.
That's true. The shawl sort of looks like sea foam or something, and it's got a fluffy-ish, whitish outline. And that's something that you think you would probably be able to see if it were just chilling on the surface. But you see no shawls.
A dearth of shawls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
The new Sith Overlord, Darth Shawl. Yes.
Oh, sounds like something you would name. Anyways, I guess I look at Vincent. Do we move? Yeah. Do we move? I'm sorry, I had a rough day. I should not be so mean. Do we move? I apologize,
No,
Neal.
it's
Okay,
fine.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good, kid.
Do we move on with this, or do we just keep following this river until we find a a shawl made of foam? Is that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, Vincent, listen. I'm giving this half a day. After half a day, we turn around and we try to figure out these goblinoid creatures. And that is already desperate.
What are we trying to figure out about the goblinoid creatures?
Well, if they could be... If they are sentient, and if they can actually speak, then they are a much greater, resource of knowledge than these nareids are, because if they are genuinely curious creatures, they will try to find out things about their surroundings. The same thing we are doing right now, they might be doing, or might have been doing for the past 10 years.
Okay, excellent idea. I agree.
Okay, we're giving it half a day to find the nareid body, and then we're turning around.
You turn around after half a day of searching.
Yes.
You make your way back. The day will end before you return to this pond, since it took you a while to get to the pond and then a half a day out. You don't have half a day to get back to it.
Which side of the dam are we on?
You're on the downstream side of the dam.
Okay, so we passed the dam and are like not where the black circle is, but somewhere in between that, yeah.
You are somewhere way off here. Like you came down here. It took some part of a day to get to here, and then you went around, and then from here you went half a day that way. So there's less than half a day. So you're back somewhere, coming back towards this.
Fair enough.
And the creek here is small enough that you can easily traverse north and south side at will with no danger or concern.
Where was the place where she said, is the black circle the like where sometimes the goblinoids will drink, or the green creatures, or whatever that is?
That was the footprints that were found. The goblinoid creatures drank from a different stream that was like way, way, way beyond.
Beyond.
Like you visited one stream, you talked, and then you passed over you went beyond the pass, and this is a second stream, right? Because the goblinoid creatures were seen where there was a nareid in the water, and this waterway has never had a nareid.
All right, fair enough. How many days do we have left?
Judging by my, let's see, Dragonfly and Fino. Then on this day, you fished.
Oh, at least we died talking to beautiful women. Could be worse, you know.
Could be worse. Trump, you've been taking magic missile spells to get fish from creeks, it sounds like.
Oh, I replaced it with sleep.
Okay. So you wait fish for one day, then rations the next day.
I use sleep to fish.
Oh, perfect.
We put the fish to sleep. Oh my god.
And then they surface and you catch them. Excellent. Very well done. Then you are full of fish and good to go. You have, I think, 1, 2, 3. You have 1 day of rations between the lot of you, which is great. Like each of you has a day of ration left, but you are subsisting on fish from the creeks. So you're good.
Yeah, but I want to know how much time we have left until 2 weeks have passed. That's my question.
You left to go to the pass, the Gaviota Pass, way over here on Wednesday, and today, now that the sun is setting, is Monday night. So it will have been in 2 days. It will have been a week since you left the outpost.
I'll throw in the factoid that I've used George's handy metric over the few days to make more accurate maps when it seems like it would be useful to have a more precise part, usually when we're at a creek or something.
Excellent. And you made a cartography check earlier to figure out where you were. And so that means you succeeded well on that. So I think your maps are coming along very nicely. Give me another proficiency check because you're using Garrick's handy metric, and we'll take the higher of the two to determine your. Oh my god, a natural 20. Okay. Your maps are fucking awesome, dude. They are exquisite. Exquisite. You met with the orcs at Lake Casitas on a Sunday. And then the following Wednesday is when you left to go to the pass, and now it's the following Monday. So in 2 days, it'll have been a week since you left Santa Barbara. In 6 days, it'll be 2 weeks since you met the orcs. And you are still probably 2 days from home right now. And on the wrong side of the mountains. The orcs might actually be between you and your home. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to know.
What date is it today?
The 22nd of August tonight.
Because I have the meeting down for the 1st of September.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's a 28-day week. The 1st of September is going to be a Monday, so you have 6 days to get home.
Okay.
Okay, well, so what we're doing, we're tracking it to the, trying to find those goblinoids and then returning, I guess.
Were we meeting them at Fort Kachuma or at our home? I thought it was Fort Kachuma.
I believe so, yes.
In which case, we probably were going to go to the pass, probably greeted by orcs, and then led to Fort Kachuma would be my guess.
No, they were late for like 2 or 3 days, so I don't think if we are 1 day late, it's going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
Going to the Goblinoid lake pool. It's on our way back anyways, isn't it?
Right. Heading back to the creek where the nareid talked about the goblins.
Yes. Well, we have time. I assume we have time to travel down that path.
Yeah, that's about half a day from where you are.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So half a day later, still sleeping. You're expending 1 sleep spell per day to catch fish.
Sure.
You are back at the Nereid's lake, the one Amphino's lake, I believe. No, wait, no. This is a different one. Yep, you're back at a different one. The one who I don't think we actually got her name, but it was a very brief conversation. And so we are. If this is the pass, we're somewhere over here in this zone. I'm just gonna put a mapper roughly where we think we are. And you can go to the water and you can call the nareid again, and then take a little while for her to show up. But sure enough, she will emerge from the water and look upon the lot of you and say, "Oh, you're back.
Yes.
Hello."
Hello.
Hi, we were wondering where those little green creatures come from.
They come from the mountains, or at least in that
Thank you.
direction.
Thank you. I ask Elaine, do we want to traumatize this nareid?
No, I don't think so. I don't
Very
think
good.
that's a good idea.
Thanks for your help. Bye.
Ta-ta.
Yep. Ta-ta.
Go towards the mountains.
All right. We begin to go towards the mountains after, less than half a day, maybe, a few hours left before the sun begins to set. You'll start to reach the foothills before the mountains, and you will have to begin an upward ascent. It's not like hand over hand climbing a cliff, but it is sort of an uphill pathfinding. Let's walk this way. Let's try and find a way that will make easy to get to the mountains. Is there any change in behavior as you approach the mountain section?
I don't think we need to be
just being
stealthy.
a little bit more paranoid for me. Like, looking out, really trying to be perceptive of my surroundings, of any kind of dangers. That's my whole job, right? Little scout.
Yeah. Being aware of any dangers. Excellent. Would you roll me another D100, Peach? You who is so aware of the dangers in the world.
I 70 or above on this one, please. Okay, yeah. Not what I was hoping for, but there have been worse.
The great assurance of all people in the world is that it can be worse.
It
Yeah.
could be worse.
Could be worse. Okay.
It could have gotten a 1.
Yeah.
And it's above 10. Anything under 10 is like a real bad, but I got above 10. So it's
You're
like,
fine. You're fine.
literally,
Yeah.
I'll be fine. It'll be okay.
Elaine.
Oh, don't make me do a dexterity check, Neal. I swear to God.
I'm not going to ask you for a dexterity check.
Okay, that's fine then. I don't want to tumble down the mountainside in my plate armor and die like this. I'm fine fighting a rock or something, but not like this. Okay.
Yeah, no dexterity checks needed. It's all good. It's all good. I just need a surprise check from you.
Fantastic. Low is good, right?
Low is bad. You want a D10,
Oh,
low is
damn.
bad.
4.
4 is good. 4 is good. We're gonna take a short break,
Low
and when
is
we come
bad?
back, low is bad. Yeah, sometimes low is good, sometimes low is bad, because second edition was made by crazy people who thought about math more than consistency, and it actually works out really, really well. But you're always wondering if I need to roll high or low unless you've read the books 100 times. Anyway, we're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna come back on the other side with some more Rise of Drekis. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of Drekis Chapter 2. Our party begins to climb the mountains. You get a little way through your day when inevitably the sun begins to set a little bit earlier now because the mountains are between you and the sun, and you begin to find a nice place to rest. And as the shadows grow long and as you make your camp once again, tucking yourself against a nice hard rock to prevent the wind from blowing you away and give yourself a little protection from the elements, and the same things you're doing every night. I would like to ask the question. No, we already talked about all this. I would like everybody in the party to make me a perception check. That's what I would like, including Vordant. Whole party. An 18 from Peachachoo, a 20 from Trump.
Pretty good.
No, you need a 21 to succeed. These are bad. These are shit rolls.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that 12 on Vordant?
Oh, yes. That last one is Vordran,
my bad. All right. 25 on Vordran. Mental math. Processing. Got it. So we're settled down. We got a little camp going on. It's fine. Where is my woodland camp music? I have a woodland camp track specifically for this purpose. Well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. We're camping in the forest at night. Everything is going according to plan until it doesn't. Until the denizens of the jungle are satisfied with the growing shadows and the dimming skies. And as the party is getting ready to, really get relaxed, as you've bedded down, you've brought over whatever little leaves or twigs or needles or, upturned the earth enough to make a comfortable bed. And as the party rolls or tosses and turns trying to get comfortable, the ambush, the assault of the monsters shall begin. The party, surprised when these beings descend from multiple directions. The first anyone will hear of them is when this little guy arrives and hurls a javelin in the direction of a prone Vordran. It's a wild miss. The javelin goes well over him and embeds itself in the nearby earth, and the little creature with a gleeful yip and yell will back off. But it's not the only one. Coming down from the hills, coming up from the low ground, from all directions, these little swarmy monsters climb, and we're gonna get 4 more javelin attacks. This is against Crumb. It's a hit against Crumb for 4 points of damage. This one too is against Crumb. An 11. If you are prone on the ground, they actually have a penalty to hit you because you're laying down, and your natural AC is 10, so that's going to be a miss. 1 against Elaine is a 10, which is going to be a miss. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, the 4th one will go against Vincent with a 7, which is a miss. And the respective little monsters will throw their javelins and then quickly dart back into the jungles, hidden from sights.
How do I remove the HP from my sheet?
When you click on your token, you can just click on the 31. Up. Oh, did it nothing?
What I do.
Yeah, just hit F5, refresh roll 20. It should work then, in theory.
Okay, cool.
In theory. And I think with that, we're gonna hop into initiative because, like it or not, combat is afoot.
What if we don't like the combat, Neal?
Said like it or not.
Yeah, I can't help you there. I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
You're playing the wrong game if you don't like the combat.
Is that so?
That is so.
You know when you click your token, how usually like 3 bubbles pop up on the top and like 2 bubbles pop up at the bottom? When I click Krob, the bubbles don't pop up.
Really?
Yeah, in my other campaigns and stuff, when I click, there's the bubbles, and then the bubbles.
I have a supply button.
You don't have your like little token bubbles.
No, usually like I click and I go like -4.
Well, I don't know. I will do it for you then. And we will figure it out later. It's not your fault. It's Roll20's fault. Inevitably. It's always someone else's fault.
Always.
That's the way it's got to be. So everyone declare your actions. I do believe people are without armor because they are ambushing in the night like little monsters are wont to do. And...
Right. Remind me again how I quickly do my initiative. Sorry, again.
Top left corner, when you click on your token, should be some bubbles. There should be one that says 0 point initiate, and if that is not there, then we just roll me a d10 plus. What action are you taking?
Is there something that's like if someone comes up to me, I stab them with my daggers?
Yeah, it's just regular rolling for initiative. Regular d20 plus d10 plus 2. Thank you very much. There's the button I'm looking for. Okay, roll.
Neal, if I look at these creatures, I do have night vision, so I assume I can see them. What are they wearing?
Nothing. Absolutely no clothing whatsoever.
What are they? Are they throwing javelins? Like they're wearing nothing, but they throw javelins?
Yeah, so their little like balls are out.
If you look closely for their little balls, you will see not but the merkins they wear around their hips.
Oh, they do wear little merkins.
No, but they do have pubic hair, probably. I don't know. I've never considered the genitalia of the jungle creatures.
Wait, isn't merkin like a little like
it's like it's fake pubic hair that you would wear.
Oh, I thought you were saying like a little like cover, like a little like okay.
No, merkin. Merkin is a toupee for your crotch.
I don't know why anyone would want that.
Well, there was a time when people would want everything clean shaven down there because of lice and other bugs that would crawl in. And so if you're a sex worker way back in the day, you might want to not have a lot of hair down there. But then if you're in other social situations, that's kind of like rude and low born. So you would need something to cover it up. There's a reason we have this wild name, which doesn't make much sense in the modern culture.
I love this new fact that I've learned.
Yeah.
It's like unclean. I don't have pubic lice. Look at how long my bush is.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That's actually what it is. And you rolled a 7. Excellent.
Can I use my initiative to try to intimidate them into backing off? I'm not sure if they probably don't speak my language, but
yeah,
can
of course
I just
you can
shout
use
at
that.
them?
Totally. Yeah, you want to roll a
Wonderful.
D10 plus 3 to try and just ward off and scare away the monsters. Love it. Excellent. That is very good initiative. The only person who beats you in initiative is actually Vincent Mapper himself, the great cartographer of Wicthron Rarenta, now
and
in
fisherman.
Ethos. Vincent, it is your turn.
Yeah, I get up from the nap, the sleep before our ambush, and I grasp the darts that are near me, and I try to throw them at a near guy. I think the guy to the bottom right would be the closest.
Excellent. You step clear of the foliage. You see one in the bush. It appears to have a second javelin that is retrieving from a predetermined spot before the ambush. The creature looks up at you as it pulls its thin rod with a stone head from the bush. The dart flies from your hand. And you miss.
Yep.
Good job, Peach. Good job. All the brain power. Your dart goes wide. Elaine, you'll get your other darts at the end of the round. Elaine, it is your turn.
I will bash my sword against my I don't have my shield. I'll bash it against something that makes noise. Maybe on the shield on the ground, I guess.
Sure. I mean, you could pick your shield up just by the top of it and not equip it and bash them together to make a lot of noise before you take the time to strap the shield to your arm.
Was it? Like, who of us is in armor?
Previously you had said that nobody was taking watches in the jungle. I just assumed that was continuing.
All right. Well, never mind. Let's hand wave that. Fine. I'll bash at the shield on the ground, I guess.
Clang, clang. It goes in your hand.
And I'll yell at them to back off and that this is our camp, even if they don't understand me. That's fine.
Loud noises. One of the great fears of all living creatures. Would you make me...
Well, it's also a way to establish,
That wasn't a sarcastic
ranking.
Remark. Heights and loud noises are what scares people. You would roll in a charisma check. Yeah, have you ever been near a dog when a car backfires or a transformer goes off or someone uses fireworks? They get scared. Loud noises are terrifying to non-humans. I mean, to babies, though. 29 is a great roll. You make a lot of noise. You make your presence known. You flex your shoulders. You scream and yell at these beasts to leave you at bay, to leave you be.
And I'm quite tall in comparison to them, I take it, at least.
Yes, these things are maybe 2.5 feet tall, so they would need 2 of them, maybe 3 of them standing on each other's shoulders to reach your height. And our first one will pass. We're just going to do a quick one to make this faster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are going to fail their morale checks as you beat on your things. I'm just going to quickly mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. This one. 5, 6 is this one. 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, where's number 8? So all the northern ones appear to be terrified and frightened. And the very last one is down here. Excellent. All right. So you beat your shield on sword on shield. You call out and you instill at least some timidity into the creatures around you. The next one to go will hop down and scurry over to the top of this little ledge thing. Do have enough movement to get there, and from above it will, I think you've probably had to move out to make eye contact and get out from the bushes and actually be terrifying, but from up here this one will throw a javelin towards you. It's a miss. Even with back attack it would be a miss. This one will take its turn but has been scurred and will back off. This one over here is scurred as well and is going to back off. They're not like totally fleeing, but they are making some distance and not engaging. Peach, it is your turn. You can see that there are 3 of these little buggers right nearby. Those are the ones that were throwing things at you. And just above you on the ledge is another one that just threw a javelin at Elaine. What are you gonna do?
All I've done is prepared my ability to defend myself. Yeah,
so you got up, you pulled out your daggers. You can throw them at something, you can run towards something and stab them, or you can stand here and wait for something to get to you and then counter stab. But
could
so far they're
also
throwing.
Have them in my hands, and then upon seeing Elaine kind of like bear moment, also do that.
You also want to try an intimidation technique?
Yeah, like when you see a bear, you're supposed to go like feral. Like if I see her, like my first instinct is going like this, but then all of a sudden I hear someone freaking the fuck out behind me, and I'm like, Oh, okay, you know? And then I'm gonna be like, with my daggers, you know?
Why not? Give me...
Okay.
Now, the only problem is that Elaine is a big old human, and you're a cute little halfling. You are inherently far less intimidating than a human. So if you want to try these intimidation tactics, we can do it, but you're going to do it at disadvantage because you're small and cute. I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's true. Also, I would like to argue that almost like inherently, my charisma is my lowest score. I'm not passing the shit.
Yeah.
I just want to go towards it. So if it's my lowest score and disadvantage, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I am small, but you can have something that's small and terrifying. Have you ever seen a spider or a scorpion or a snake? They're small, but depending on the charisma that I exude, which I'm not very good at, but you can't write me off before I have my charisma check. You have to see if I can even be scary.
That would be the charisma check, would be the determination. But also, like, if an angry mom with a sword starts yelling at you to get away from her lawn, and then her, like, you know, 10-year-old comes out with a kitchen knife, who's more terrifying? The angry mom.
10-year-old with a kitchen knife, dude. Have you seen a child with a knife in their hands? It's fucking scary. They don't know how dangerous that shit is.
You can
You're the
outrun
DM,
them. You
man.
can outreach them.
You're the DM, man. However,
Look
I
at
don't
this
know that these
token.
creatures understand.
Look at this
What I have-
token.
Okay, let me. If
Well,
a
look at how
10-year-old
big she is.
had a
Look
knife
at how
in their
big
hand
she
and they
is.
passed a charisma check to intimidate me by going like, or something. I think they were possessed by a demon.
Sure. Sure.
I feel like we have to say, if somebody's yelling and the other person has a knife, okay, you run from the person with the knife first. Doesn't matter how old they are, okay? Can be a dog. I don't care.
All I'm saying is I have a 9 in charisma. Okay, I'm not
That's
passing
not that
this
bad.
anyways.
That's a very
But I'm
average charisma roll.
I'm being kicked right now. Kicked while I'm down.
Oh, it's a pass. It's a fail.
Oh, that's very
You
sad.
have to roll a second one because it's at disadvantage, but the first one doesn't make it. The second one's not gonna. That's a good roll, though. You try to intimidate the creatures. They seem completely unintimidated by you. Not even concerned in the slightest. Which is when
not concerned.
this one will scurry over to this area, maybe one step over, and hurl its javelin in the direction of Vordren. With an 18 is going to hit him for 3 damage, and then it's going to, you know, scurry back to its pre-prepared stash of throwing weapons. This one is also scared and is going to run away, and Vordren will take his turn, getting to his feet.
Yep, Vordren advances on the goblin. No, sorry, not goblin. The goblinoid that just scurried away. And
With
actually, no.
ease. No.
He's gonna hang out near Vincent.
Oh.
He follows the lead of Elaine and bashes his sword against the shield, making noise.
Okay.
Turning towards that goblin in particular, and trying to intimidate generally the area.
Give me your charisma check.
All right, getting border.
23 is pretty good. You call out and begin to terrify the local creatures. Maybe not that one. Yes, this one. That's a pass. That's a pass. That's a fail. That's a fail. I think that is all of them. All right. Vordren beats his shield or his sword, scares off a few more of these creatures. This one will scurry forward and throw its javelin at Elaine. Whoosh! An 8 is not going to do it, and then we'll back off. This next one over here is going to flee. I think most of them are fleeing at this point, at least for now. And you go, and this one will go and also throw javelin at Elaine. Whoosh! 14 will hit you, I believe, unless you have crazy high dex. No. You'll take 2 points of damage as the Tasseloid runs back into the jungle, and this one will just bolt for it. And it gets us to the end of the round. Most of them are fleeing. A couple of them have not been scared off. We're going to roll initiative again, but I want to know what the plan is.
think Operation Scare is working well.
Okay. Then we're just going to do a quick this, and it's fine. We don't have to bother rolling initiative because enough of them have been scared off that the others will quickly flee back into the jungle for now. You've killed 0 of them. They're all still out there somewhere. And they have javelins, but they're gone for now.
I'll finish them off with an enlarge on Elaine to make her super scary.
They don't see me in the right now.
Okay.
Anyways,
You're welcome, guys. You got him away for us.
Doesn't look like they can communicate with us, I mentioned. So let's get out of here.
I didn't hear any commands either. Did you hear them talking to each other or anything?
No, it seems organized though. They were all hiding around us.
I mean, I don't know how much help really creatures can be that only throw sticks.
Yeah,
Javelins. Where do they get javelins? How do?
That's a great question. As you
Like
examine,
a welded javelin.
No. This looks like
Probably
it
just
has
a sharpened stick.
sharpened sticks. Some of them, others have stone heads attached to them that are pointed. Not like really nice obsidian spear tips, but like pointed rock tied with jungle vine.
Rock. Very sharp rock when you put on a stick.
Yeah, Paleolithic
Got it.
technology. Not even Neolithic.
Not even Neolithic. LMAO. Fucking hold the L. Okay.
All right. Well, what's the rest of the night going to be like? You know the jungle's dangerous. You know there's other denizens out there.
Should we stay here? We've scared them off for now.
Wardren, do you know your stars?
No.
Oh, Vincent, how about you? I think that's the first time he said something. I'm sorry, I was so surprised. I thought he was just going to be. Vincent, you're I don't know. I think knowing about the stars is usually a cleric thing or something for seafaring people. But do you know your stars?
No, probably. I mean, it probably is adjacent to cartography, but not too much.
Yeah, probably as well as the rest of you. You can recognize the major constellations. In fact, you probably can recognize all the constellations at any given time. There's only, like 28 gods, so.
Can I see the constellations that are in the sky tonight?
That is entirely dependent on the cloud cover, clear night, and the tree cover, but judging based on this map, you can walk to a spot where you can at least see parts of the sky, maybe not the whole night sky, but definitely sections of it.
Okay. I will walk over and I'll have a look at the constellation, see who's up.
Bellum, god of war, is high in the sky. Right? Right? Is this my map correct? Is my map correct? Jesus setting, Jexel setting, Madrigal. Ooh. I think my map might be a little bit off. I'll have to correct this later. Madrigal is visible. She's been beginning to rise. Mathis, Safia are also visible. I need to go to a different list. This file's out of date.
And just for my general comprehension, I know I ask this every time, I apologize, but if the gods are in the sky, it means they don't currently walk the earth and therefore are less easily reached? Or is it the other way around?
Oh, man. That is one of the things that I think humans wish they had answers to. If they're in the sky, they're definitely not on the earth, guaranteed, but it's also hard to know where exactly they are or what their level of communication might be. Does that make sense?
Neal.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm so sorry.
I love the gods. They're so much fun to be played with. Okay, I'm going to say a little prayer, I guess. I think it's time. I think the nareid said that She was like, have you tried talking to the gods? And it's something that, we haven't tried yet. I don't think Elaine is very optimistic that she's going to get an answer at all whatsoever, but...
To let you know, the gods in the sky, if you care which ones they are, Reluna,
Yes,
goddess of passion, Matrigal, goddess of hope, Martha, goddess of life and creation, Womator, god of joy, Nerul, goddess of hearth, home, family, society, Ephra, goddess of art and inspiration, and Mathis, Saphia, who is just beginning to rise, who are the dual or, two-sided gods of knowledge and wisdom.
Right, and the ones I would mainly associate with the elves would be
Martha.
Just Martha.
Martha is the creator of elves. She is the god of elves, so to speak.
Okay.
Not that other ones aren't, like, elves clearly love all their gods and whatnot, but Martha... If Malchus is the god of humans, and Astaire is the god of dwarves, Martha is the god of elves, and Varasi is the god of ogres.
All right. Oh, here we are. I guess I'll lean against one of the trees, and I'll gently I'll sit with my back against the tree, and I'll put my hands against the bark. And I guess I'll quietly say, I've been a little bit angry when I heard that the elves had left this place. And she just starts talking. She addresses, like in her heart, she addresses the prayer to Martha, but she doesn't feel like it needs a formal introduction because a goddess should know when you talk to her.
But all your companions can hear you saying this, right? You're speaking aloud.
Yes, I'm speaking loudly. Let's just say, I don't know if the half-elves that are like Lord Campbell understand what happened when the elves left and what it meant to people like us. We don't know the elves really. And I don't think we owe them. I don't think we owe them anything. They never cared for us. They put us into this world, this misery, and all our problems that stem from our heritage, they do not care about. Not in the slightest. There's a great dispute going on how much they have contributed to the actual war, whether they've just run away from the Great Red Dragon. I don't care about all that. I don't care. I know I don't owe them. I know they've brought me more trouble than anything. I can't say that I feel a great love or fascination for them, because they cause a lot of misery and they do not care. And I don't know if it's because they don't know or because they genuinely think they're above this all. But if I can put aside all that apprehension and all that part in me that feels nothing but disdain for that side, and I can be willing to try and protect this place and preserve it, then I really think I do deserve some help here, whether I'm only half an elf or not. I really think if you want this place to prosper, and if you want any chance for it to have its intended purpose, then we're going to need some help here. Because I only have so much strength to divide amongst the people. And today, the strength I can give up for the elves will vanish. So I have to go back and defend what is left of my other half. But, They say the gods are grand, and sometimes they grant wishes and opportunities. And if you truly care about this place and what you've created here, then I'm willing. I'm willing to listen. I'll give you that. And for many people that might not be much, but for somebody like me, that is probably one of the biggest sacrifices I'm willing to make. So, you know, if you'd like to talk, this is an offer, I guess. And I'll slowly take my hands off the tree. And I'll turn around to the party and I'll just say, you know, they do say that elves can travel through trees. I tried that when I was a child. Never worked for me, though.
Well, pack your stuff, because I think your words will move the gods to move us in the right direction.
I'll put a hand on Vincent's shoulder and I say, Vincent, I do not worry about it. You know, we can stand here and we can wait, and sometimes a great miracle happens. But if it doesn't, then we know where our purpose is. You know? We don't need to search the jungle. We don't need to find a solution. We'll do whatever we can. And sometimes that has to be enough.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you want... Let's see. Well, for tonight at least, should we head out from where we are now and let the gods take us where we should go, or should we just settle back in?
Let's just settle here. Yeah, I think we should maybe take watches just to make sure that we're not gonna get pelted. No?
I think so. I think you should probably get some sleep, but
thank you.
We should take some watches. And I just wanted to say to all of us, okay? This might not have been the most fruitful adventure. I found it greatly frustrating. But traveling with you as companions makes me learn something new every day.
Thank you, Elaine.
And even if we don't achieve anything for our mission, I guess this has been very fruitful in a different way. So, thank you for that.
I'm so touched by your words. I'm sure the gods are as well.
It's all right, Lane. Thank you.
The very rarely spoken Fortune says, "That was pretty good."
I'll nod at Vordran and I'll have one last glance back up at Madrigal, right? And maybe it's her, you know, maybe it's her being up in the sky influencing us to think that we actually have the slimmest chance of turning things around on this island, on this crazy mission. You know, sometimes we get influenced by things like that, some people say. So maybe it's her fault. But tonight is not the night of blame. And I think we shall go back to our tent. And hope the Tesla don't ambush us a second time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you begin to head back towards your tent. And
there's a fight music already.
Many things begin to happen. At first, it looks like a good sign. At first, you begin to see lights appearing on the ground, little fungal blooms rising up and illuminating a path towards the east. But shortly after they begin to do that, there is a clap of thunder and the skies above you begin to darken. Moments later, as you're still sort of perceiving these things, winds begin to pick up and the ground begins to shake underneath your feet. Water comes from the sky and begins to plummet to the ground, turning to hard ice balls as it reaches the forest floor. And little fungal blooms that are trying so hard to glow brightly before you are slowly swatted out of existence by the descending hail. Yet more try to reach up. Lightning crashes. The land is thrown into chaos. Everyone falls to the ground. I mean, it's an earthquake. It's a bigger one. Make me dex checks to not fall, though. But I think you're all gonna fall.
Well, there's an earthquake with giant hail that hits mushrooms. Are we like?
There are many things happening at once. There are mushrooms that are bioluminescent and seeming to grow, or at least alight in a path. And then there is darkness as the clouds move in over the stars. Then there is thunder. Then there is rain.
Wait, you say that's a mushroom path?
Mushroom path. But then there's rain, which turns to hail, and then there's lightning, and the hailstones are falling, and wherever they hit a mushroom, the mushroom is completely destroyed and the bioluminescence ends immediately.
Neal, are you going to give us a chance to follow the mushroom path?
We're missing one dex check in here.
That's mine. I'm terrified of both options that we have here.
Yes.
30.
Well, Peachachoo is struggling on the ground. She's small. She's easily tossed into the air by the undulating ground. Everyone else manages to grab onto something, grab onto each other, hold on for dear life as the world around you crashes into chaos. Multiple terrible weather and natural events are occurring simultaneously.
Okay.
Oh, and the winds are picking up.
Can we grab the crumb of the ground?
You can pick up the crumbs.
And then I guess I can say, okay, we'll follow the. We'll follow the ground. We'll have to follow the light source wherever that leads. We have to get out of here. Maybe there's a cave or something. I guess we follow the mushrooms. If that actually looks like a path, we'll take it.
You would think that because I'm short that I have like a lower center of gravity and not be so like, yeah, no.
You would think, but
you're
sometimes
you're light-footed. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes you roll a 2 on your dexterity check. Sometimes bad luck happens. Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
I guess we don't have time to explain, so you just hear, now all the hail and all the crashing, you just hear Elaine yell, "Ah!" somewhere in the back, and then I guess we'll try going.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think to myself, Elaine must have moved the gods so much that they're showing us a path.
Yes, and as Elaine is running, she just thinks, I'll never pray to the gods ever again. This was the worst idea I've had. Why did I think that would be a good idea?
Is this working out?
Nadine is herself.
There's a path, but there's also lightning and thunder and high winds and rain and hail. What sign are you getting here, Elaine?
Well, I'm getting the sign that we have to get the fuck out of here. That's the sign I'm getting, so that's what we're doing.
That's the sign. All right. And off we go, following the path for as far as it will take us. I would like a wisdom willpower check from Elaine, please and thank you.
Oh, it's my worst one. Why?
Every now and then, you gotta roll your worst stat, and you gotta roll well. You gotta roll so well.
11. Nailed it, Neal. Wonderful. I love this game. 10 out of 10.
Nailed it. Yes. You can hurry along the mountainside in the darkness, which is growing increasingly dark. You have some level of night vision. You can see when the lightning strikes, you get great vision all around you, and when in between strikes, you still have some limited vision. The remainder of your friends, though, wet and cold and falling as the earthquake continues. Normally earthquakes last, a minute or 2 minutes. There's like a huge part of the earthquake right away, but there is a constant rumbling beyond that. You're gonna find yourself, Elaine, that your allies and companions are having trouble following you along this path. The darkness is a problem. The lack of steady footing is a problem. The trail before you flickers out in places and leaps back to light in other places. Is this every man for himself? Everyone just run and follow the path as best as you can? Or is there... What is the leader going to do? These people's lives are in your hands.
I think I'll carry Crumb. I think it's the only way to do it. I'll carry Crumb. I'll wait for the others to catch up.
What about your camp with all of your supplies, like your armor and shit? What you have stuff you had unpacked for the night, and now in the middle of the night there's like cataclysmic everything. Are we leaving behind our gear? These are hard decisions.
Whose watch was it, Neal?
It was no one's watch. You were going to set watches.
On that shit. We still had our shit. I don't think we had time to grab our stuff, to be honest.
I think you had to leave your stuff behind.
I just have... Yes, I agree. I think I have my shield.
All right.
Probably, and my sword with me.
Your sword and your shield.
There was a chance. Yeah.
Halfling under one arm.
I'd like to think I have my daggers on me.
You have your daggers, but like your backpacks, your bedrolls, your food, your the general stuff that you haul around with you. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Here we go. You botched your wisdom check, your wisdom willpower check. Not good. Bad reception. Trump. You've got two characters under your control here. Elaine's carrying the halfling. I'm going to need both of your characters to make me perception checks to keep up with Elaine, because you will be losing vision constantly through the strikes and flashes of light.
All right. They try to stay near each other so that if one loses vision, the other can help guide. They typically stay near each other anyways.
That's true. 25 is a great roll. 27 is a great roll. Both of you can keep in track with Elaine. Last check. We're going to need this for... No one yet. You continue. You can follow this path of mushrooms, and it goes downhill and downhill and downhill, and the rain and the hail is torrential. And as you get to a lower spot where these mushrooms lead, you can see that the waters have created improvised streams and rivulets that run down the mountainside. The mushroom path seems to be underwater for a section, which kind of preserves it, making it a little bit more resistant to the rain and hail coming down. But it does bring us into a slippery, wet, gross, slimy, rocky, muddy terrain. I will need dex checks to navigate the wet and ugly, gross path from the 3 people afoot. Vordant passes. Elaine crashes into the mud. Vincent passes. Elaine, you've got a halfling under one arm, a sword in your belt, and a shield in your other arm. You're going to have to lose one of these things. Now, I imagine you're unwilling to lose the halfling. I imagine the halfling is what you're going to hold on to the hardest, right?
Yeah. I'm losing my shield.
I was going to have you roll a 50-50 to see which one it is.
No, I'll lose my shield. I guess I stumble and I realize I need to steady myself, so I'll lose the shield.
Shield falls. Psh, ancestral shield passed down through the... No time to worry about it. The shield goes. The party can go through the muddy, swampy area. Which leads towards a cavern that maybe you haven't been here. Maybe this was just beyond your vision as you were walking through this, but it looks like this fungal bloom, complete with the stream you're walking through, is dumping into the mouth of a cave that's like 10 feet high, 14 feet wide. There's shelter. But there's also a torrential stream, which if it keeps raining like this might become a river, and maybe you'll all get flooded out. But that's also where these lights are leading.
I think we're still going in. I have like the crazy hope that even if it gets to turn into a river, maybe we'll get a nareid to help us out. So, yep, we're going in there, I guess.
You're gonna be so confused. What do you mean you can't swim?
What do you mean? But while we float down the mountain, like we're getting tumbled down, they're like, "What are you doing?
This is a war between you and the river
and the water. Can you not swim?"
It must be a sign.
You're all very
Vincent and
strange.
Vordren,
Would you like a pebble?
after.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Trump.
Oh, it must be a sign, says Vincent, as Vincent and Vordren follow.
Excellent. Okay. I think this might be the right track for us here. All right. In the cave, you all make it in. The rain is not coming down in here. It's outside. There's still thunder and lightning crashing outside. The rumbling of the earth has slowed to just a gentle vibration in the ground. Chunks of rock do tumble from the ceiling from time to time, but not a ton. It doesn't look like the whole thing. Well, it kind of looks like everything's about to collapse, but the lights are leading you in here. And when has mushrooms talking to you ever been wrong? Talk to Alice. These things are always right.
At least something is talking to us, you know, so that is already a step up from all the other stuff.
All right, you're in the mouth of this cave, and it keeps going back. The stream and the fungal bloom go deep into the recess of the mountain here. Does the party follow, or does the party stay at the mouth where you are protected from the hail and the rain as the waters begin to slowly rise? You know, right now it's at less than ankle height, but in a few minutes it might be past your ankles. Maybe in an hour it could be to your hips.
Yes, wonderful. We're trudging on.
Quick, we have to go explore before this cave is submerged.
Excellent.
I
The
carefully
cave.
set down the halfling. I say, "Are you okay, Crumb?"
I'll be yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You recede into the cave. It gets warm in here. Like there's heat being given off by the walls in here. There's a constant rumbling and crumbling of the ceiling and sides as little tiny rocks, not big chunks, but little tiny rocks cascade down, landing in the plume. The fungal bloom rolls out from the bottom to the sides of the walls, giving you a decent illumination. And I think we're going to run into our next monster in here, as coming from the bowels of the earth itself. Coming out of the cave opening before you is this must be some sort of rock elemental or earth elemental. It's some sort of twisting, winding, rolling piece of ground with like gypsum for eyes that emerges, almost like a snake, as if like the snake had weird appendages. You know those trees that have like, they drop vines to the ground and then the vines become roots and they become these like thicker, harder things? It's kind of got like that from its arms, but they flow like water as it walks. It is a large creature, maybe 10 feet tall, and it stands moves before you. We're gonna not change to a different map. You're in a pretty, I don't know, the cave that you're in is 15 feet across. We're not gonna have to worry too much about positioning and movement. We're just gonna keep on this map and roll initiative. And let's go. There's a monster here. Would everyone please roll me initiative and tell me what it is you're going to do about it?
I have no clue. It's giant. It's made out of rock, yeah? It looks to me like...
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Flaming sword.
Oh, I rolled poorly.
That's good. That means you go after me.
A rock elemental would not lure things in the cave to eat them, though. Just putting that out there. I doubt they have a digestive system.
No, maybe it wasn't like luring us. They just happened to be mushroom blooms.
Vincent, Gordon, Peach, Elaine. Here we go. Elaine, you're rolling at +3. You're walking, or are you talking? What are you doing?
I'm talking.
You're talking. That's it. We're gonna talk the elemental down.
I have no AC, and I have a sword which is not going to deal any damage to that creature.
That's great.
Like,
no, I love it. Peach, you got your short sword out and your dagger out, and here's the big rock thing coming towards you. What are you gonna do, Peach?
Oh, I'm talking to it. I want to have my weapons out, but I'm fucking talking to it.
You're talking to it? What are you gonna say to it?
Oh yeah. What languages do I know? Do I know anything that's even remotely like
Elemental? No.
No, like anything like Fey-y, like I know
Halfling
my
is
other
kinda
character's
close.
a druid. I'll speak to it in halfling.
Oh,
And I'll be like, "Hey there! We know it is fucking pouring outside! We're safe! We love you! We're safe!" You know, like, please.
that's great.
And
Yeah.
With my swords or daggers, I guess. Is there like a charisma check I could do?
Absolutely. Roll me that charisma check. Make it so good.
I'm ready.
You
to
got
roll a
this.
Natural 20 for you, Neal. Okay.
I believe in you. It's a natural 3. It is not your day today. Vincent.
No.
Vincent's
Vincent's usual is to cast strength on Elaine. However, in this case, he notices that Elaine seems to be consumed by doubt, and he's gonna go with his trusty sidekick instead. He casts strength on Vordren.
Roll me the d8. How much strength does this man? 7
Whoa.
points of strength. 4 gets him to 18, so 18.3 is his strength score temporarily. Excellent. Elaine, you can hear the murmuring of the words of magic coming from Vincent behind you. You can hear Vordent like give a pleasant grunt as his muscles expand. Before you looms this creature, sort of snake-like with these appendages that go into the ground and spread and, you know, look like arteries or something. It's got these like whitish eyes. It looms before you, moving in your direction. The water parts and flows around it. Mushrooms and moss on the walls. What words do you have for the rock monster?
I'll look at the rock monster, and I'm going to drop my sword on the ground in front of it. And I'm gonna say, do you speak 2 languages? Speak Dwarvish. So in Dwarvish, okay, I'm going to assume they're closer to the earth than any of us. I'm going to say, what do you want?
It continues to move closer to you. It does not give a verbal response.
I'll wait.
Okay. You wait. Its turn is on initiative 17. Vordent, in between, as Elaine is waiting for response from the elemental. What do you do, Vordren?
Vordren's pretty sure this isn't gonna pan out, but out of respect for his leader, he's gonna move after the elemental, if that's allowed.
Yeah.
All right.
Hesitating, the elemental surges forward towards Elaine at a brisk movement speed of 6, which is not super high. And it will raise one of these limbs from the ground, like bringing it up beside its face.
I'll brace for the punch. It's fine. I'll take it.
And then it begins to slam it in your direction.
Wonderful. I can do nothing against the rock elemental.
It's a critical hit. That's a lot of damage. Lane, what's your HP at?
I don't know, you didn't roll damage.
I meant before the damage roll, because it will do on a critical hit 4d8 points of damage for a total of 17. Smashing into you. It appears to not hear your words or not care about them, or actually just hate you or something. Vordren, your delayed action will trigger.
Yeah, shoving past Elaine, Vordren grunts, "Move it!" And then he attacks the elemental.
It is a large creature. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 9 to hit is no good. The sword whistles before the beast, who reflexively retreats before the blow, just kind of bending its snake body backwards. And now we can roll initiative for the whole party once again. It does not seem to care about the words of halfling or man.
How big is it in comparison to the tunnel we just came through?
It is 10 feet tall, so it reaches when it's at full height to the top of the tunnel. And then, the tunnel's about 15 feet wide.
So it could squeeze through if it wanted to. It could just follow.
I don't understand. It could squeeze through?
Well, you said we're in a cave and we came through a tunnel now.
Yeah, the tunnel and the cave are the same thing.
We're in a big cave.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just die. Yeah, that works for me. For initiative.
How do we feel about running?
The answer is probably no, because outside we're drowning. So what does it matter?
We could run. We could drown. There's so many things that could happen.
We can't. I don't think we like.
Let's do it.
Maybe Vincent can kill that thing. I don't think I can.
All right.
You've got your weapon.
Peach, initiative.
Okay, listen, if we're going in.
Short sword for Peach. Vordrin rolling darts. No, okay, Vincent rolling initiative. Perfect. Excellent. Vincent, you're up first. Darts in hand. Go ahead and throw the first one. You can get the other two at the end of the round.
Yep, great. Just doing the other one. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. Throw a dart.
That is an 11. The dart will hit the creature and fall harmlessly to the ground with an 11. It's got better than 11, I see. Peach, It's your turn. Or it's immune to items. Who knows? It might need magic weapons to be hit. Who could now? Peach.
I'm going to look up at Elaine, like worriedly that we're not running, but then I'm going to look at the thing, gonna run up to it. Can I like slide underneath its legs?
Sort of, like it emerges from the ground in this way, not the humanoid creature, but the weird sand looking snaky thingy. So like part of it comes from the ground and part of it has legs and limbs, so you could get between the limb and the snaky body, or you could go beside it. You could go
it.
Yeah, you could it seems to be focused on Elaine as it just bashed her in the face. You could get behind it and attack from behind. No problem.
If that's okay.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. I'll
go
try
ahead.
doing that.
Make me your attacks at +2 for back attack.
Okay.
It doesn't seem concerned with the tiny little cute halfling.
Short sword? Is that how I do it?
You're gonna do short sword. Oh, you get 2 attacks with the short sword?
Because I'm ambidextrous, I have 2.
Oh, right. Perfect. That's exactly what you would want to roll then. But unfortunately, you are continuing to roll so badly today that no amount of strategy is going to help you. With a 4 and a 3 on your natural rolls, you have a modified.
I have 1d20.
Yeah, those are bad. You don't even touch it. Vordrin, this round you get 1 attack now, 1 attack at the end of the round. Oh, we never did Trump's second attacks. Yes, we did. No, we didn't. Did we? No. Trump, throw me 2 more darts for the end of last round. I forgot to.
Okay.
I forgot to call them out. 17 is a hit for 2 points of damage, and 21 is a hit for 2 points of damage. The creature is beginning to get hurt. 11. I should probably roll its HP. I'm going to bring us to something that will work as a temporary token. Elemental Earth. Okay. This thing is not actually what we're fighting, but I'm going to use it as a placeholder because I don't have a token for this monster at this moment in time.
Yeah, I'll gauge as my darts go in whether or not the non-magical dart has affected it.
Okay, so you can see a red bar. After the first attack, it takes this much damage, and after the second attack, it takes this much damage.
Oh, what a pushover.
What a pushover. Vordrin's turn finally arrives.
Yeah, he'll move over to the side. Does that give a plus?
It'll give a +1 for flanking.
Sure, +1's good enough. And he'll swing his arming sword.
That's a 14. The sword will clatter against the stony hide ineffectively. Elaine Pentolin will take a turn.
Well, I guess since it seems to be hurt for whatever reason by non-magical weapons, I guess I'm going to attack.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Natural 1. Just like Peach before you, you are wildly ineffective in combat. The elemental will raise one of its appendages again, this, abrasive pseudopod, and roll against Elaine once more with another critical hit.
No.
Oof.
It does 48 damage. Elaine's at 23 HP. It's not impossible that you die here, Elaine, and if so, I'm so sorry. 16.
I'm not sorry.
Cracking into you. Bones bend. Skin is flayed. And Vordren gets his second attack of the round.
Yeah. Come at me, Vordren shouts as he swings his sword.
14, 15 is still no go, but we have one more initiative, hopefully, in us. Oh, but the elemental rolls well. Gonna go on an 8. Vordren goes on 9.
What do you roll for fighting retreat as a 3?
Yes.
Or non-fighting, like the one where you just disengage.
A withdraw?
Move?
That's 3. Yeah. What'd you say, Peach?
What is initiative move? Is that like...
Oh, that's to move. Yeah, if you just want to move but not fight. Yep. Okay. Movement for you. Movement for you. Looking at the list, Vincent did not roll initiative. Magic missile with a 2. Go for it, Mr. Vincent.
All right, Vincent casts magic missile.
I do believe you are shooting 4 darts, right? I think it's 4 darts.
Bring up that spell.
4d4 plus 4 for damage.
Let's see.
He has 2 at third level, 3 at 5th level, and you are 4th?
So 2.
Okay, 2d4 plus 2. 6 points of damage as you pummel the elemental with magic. The elemental will turn to... Actually, Vincent's the only one...
I have a 5, dude.
You have a 5?
I have a 5. Yep, that is not correct initiative.
There we go. Elaine. Thank you.
I'm withdrawing.
Elaine will begin to back. The elemental is going to move in the direction of the only thing that has caused it damage and pain so far, which is Vincent, and it will raise its abrasive pseudopod, and it will slam in the direction of Vincent with a 7, whoosh, hitting the ground, but nothing else. Vordren will go still on the side, now actually sort of behind it.
Yeah. Get off of him, he says. Vordren will attack from the back.
10 plus 2 for back attack is a 12 and is still a miss. Peach, you were behind it. It has moved. You are also planning on moving. Where are you going, Peach?
I want to go to be by Elaine, who's by the cave entrance.
Excellent. So you dart back around it again and hurry to catch up with Elaine. The creature barely, if at all, notices the halfling scurrying along.
Grab Elaine's wrist. She's looking very heavily injured. I'm assuming she's like, yeah, and I'm going to say, we need to run. There's a certain death in here. There is an uncertain death out there.
I'll squeeze her hand and I'll say, fine, if we drown, at least we drown together, I guess.
Oh. Initiative.
Vordren's gonna yell at the halfling. You idiot! If you fight here, we can take it down.
He's dying!
Vordren's staying and fighting.
Vordren. Vincent, what are you doing?
Vincent's gonna hold his ground with Vordren.
My God. All right. Elaine is backing out. Peach is backing out. Vincent and Vordren, please roll initiative. 13 for Vordren. 12 for Vincent. Vincent, you go first as Elaine backs the fuck out of there. You are now between her and the elemental. The elemental is beside you, staring down at you, trying to crush you with its great arms. Hurl your dart.
Yep. Was there any downside to being in range with a melee guy in this one?
I don't think, not with this creature. It's big, it's got these long arms. I think you can throw darts at it without problem.
Great.
But a 9 is a miss. Vordren behind the monster.
Oh boy. Get him, Vordren.
A 12 with back attack is no good. The monster.
Can I yell something as we move out, Neal?
Please do.
I'll yell, get the fuck out of that cave. That's an order.
All right. The monster
I'm
brings its rocky fist towards Vincent and hits him for 2d8 damage. Vincent, you have 14 HP. In theory, you could be knocked completely unconscious and begin to bleed to death right here. But you don't. With 10 damage, just about average, you will be brought to near death, but not quite there. You get your last 2 dart attacks.
Ah, yes. Dart.
No.
Holy cow.
No. It's not looking good. Peach and Elaine are upriver. The water is now maybe at a human's shin in height. You know, it's a little bit higher. The moss glows on the walls, giving you a pretty good view of everything that's happening in here. The rumbling of the earth has not stopped, but it is a very low, gentle rumble that's not throwing you off your balance. If we were to arrange these things in something of a semblance, it would look something roughly like this. So if we ignore the terrain of this map, just for effect, we'd be looking at something like this, with Elaine and Peach well behind Vincent, who took, what was it, 10? Nice. And Vordren back here. So let's go for initiative.
As I'm like running out with Elaine, I'm not sure what I would roll for this, but can I turn back and try and like slingshot, not the monster, but like anything near the like either the monster or anything back there, so that it's like a bunk, and maybe it'll go like.
You want to try and
look at it?
distract the creature with throwing rocks? With
Just like
slinging rocks?
Yeah, just like a couple. As I'm like backing on, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in desperation. Well, not kind of. In total desperation for my friends.
Absolutely.
What's that like as a roll?
That would just
sling?
be initials for your sling. Yes, ma'am.
Cute.
How is the ground here, Neal? Is it like rocky and muddy and all that?
It's rocky and overflowing with water, and a little bit of like sand and dirt, but it's mostly rock and water.
So you couldn't charge on that ground, I take it.
If you pass a dex check, you'll charge. If you fail a dex check, you'll just have to walk.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll try it then. I'll look at Peach and I'll say Peach. Sorry,
Krob.
Peach. In my mind, you're both halfling sized, you know? Because you're both adorable. So I'll say... Crumb, whatever happens, you have to get out of this. I'll squeeze a shoulder and I'm going to turn around and I would like to try and charge. I'll do a dexterity saving throw for that, I guess.
Yep.
Or is it a check?
It's a check,
Check
because there's
or
no
save.
such thing as a dexterity saving throw. in
And
second
otherwise,
edition.
we're just walking with 7 HP, boys. All right.
Is she charging towards the monster or away?
Towards.
31. I'm charging
She's
towards.
telling you to get out of here as she goes back in. Elaine, roll me initiative. You have a bonus of 1 on your initiative when you're charging.
Okay, so rolling with the arming sword. So
That's a
7.
7. All right. Vordren is still first, behind the creature, who seems content to slaughter all in its wake.
Oh, let me see. That I might have clicked the wrong for Vordren. is
Yes.
first. Vincent's first. With a 5, Vordren got a 14.
Got it. Vincent with the invisibility spell
Yep. He's gonna cast it on himself.
Boom! Invisible Vincent. Thank the gods. No one can see you now. Elaine, you charge forward. Full dexterity in tow.
Didn't see that one coming, quite literally, you know? That's how it is. Okay. Okay, attacking, I guess. 24.
Oh, it
Natural
is
19.
the critical hit you were looking for. Roll me double damage. That's 2d12 plus all your
Jeez.
modifiers against the great earth elemental.
So I get +3 to damage, I guess, from my
Specialization
sword. Do I
and
get anything
strength.
else? Yeah, is that all? Is it just +3?
2d12 plus 3.
All right, let's go. Big numbers. No, mediocre numbers. Very mediocre numbers.
Might be good
A
enough.
solid 10.
Better than no numbers. Better than none.
But the creature had
That's true.
only 9 HP. And
Oh
so
my goodness.
as you charge it, your sword will plunge into stone that breaks and cracks, and the whole thing crumbles to the ground in chunks.
That thing had 9 hit points.
remaining. It had a total
Oh,
of
okay.
had a total of 19 to begin with.
I think Elaine drops her sword, and from the bottom of her lungs, she screams really loudly to nobody in particular. What do you want?
Yeah.
And you can hear all her frustration just ringing out through this hell of a cave as she's standing there and all her blood streams down into the water.
Since Vordran only sees himself with Elaine, he's going to assume the question was asked to him, and he yells back, "I just want this halfling to not flee!"
Well, I'm running back. I'm running back. If you're not like proficient in healing, can you still help someone heal by like stopping wounds from bleeding or something?
No, ma'am.
Got
Nope.
it.
Really, to gain HP, you need healing proficiency or magic spells or magic items.
But I guess I see Kram is still running, like she still runs towards me to check in and make sure I'm okay, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like even if I can't like increase HP, I don't know, if someone just got fucking hammered, attacked, I would still run over and like take off my cloak or something and like try and put it around something bleeding.
I think Elaine just sees the worry in Crum's eyes, and she realizes the halfling she didn't run. You know, she didn't run out of the cave. She was like at least frozen enough to not just run for her own life. So she's going to put a big half-elf arm around Crumb and pull her very close and give her a big bear hug. And she'll quietly whisper, "I said you should run out of here. What are you still doing in this cave?"
And I'll say, "You said we'd drown together."
And I'll let go of her, and I'll like pet Wardren's shoulder, and I'll say, Where's Vincent?"
Vincent's just gonna come out of invisibility here. And, he looks terrible after getting slammed by this earth elemental. He's
You know, I've had enough of this place. I hate glowing mushrooms. I hate the wet, all that water. I've had enough water for weeks. Okay, can we go? I think we've tried it.
Further into the cave, right? That's what you want.
Is there a further in?
Oh yeah,
I'll
it
look
keeps
around.
going.
The gods must have led us here.
You're nowhere
Vincent, if
near
there's
the
a second, what if there's a second?
Maybe
one of
I
them
go
in there?
first.
I have a correction. I don't go out of invisibility. Here, I'll
Oh yeah,
look
you're
ahead.
invisible.
I'll look ahead.
Alright.
I'm invisible.
You scout out the area before the party. And because of the bioluminescent glow on the walls, as you get maybe, I don't know, a couple thousand feet beyond where the party is, which will take you some while in these conditions as the water slowly begins to rise.
Oh, I don't go that far ahead. I'm not insane.
Oh,
A few 100 feet ahead.
all right. You get a
check
few
out
hundred
Vincent.
feet ahead, and the tunnel continues. It keeps its shape, and doesn't seem to have It's just going into the earth. It's warmer down here though, that's for certain. There's like heat radiating off the walls. Not a lot. It's not like hot, but like the warmness of the walls is a nice contrast to the coldness of the ice water.
Into a fire elemental next. I'm going to have a fucking conniption, guys. I can't
I
do
was
this.
thinking like, there's a dragon.
Well, a few hundred feet ahead, I'll turn back to the party and says, "Looks like this will go for a while. Keep walking, and I'll just be a few hundred feet ahead. So we'll, if assuming the party is good at this, we can go the few thousand feet ahead, and I'll just be a few hundred feet ahead of the party."
Excellent. At a certain point, maybe half an hour after the battle with the monster, party's wounded. Vincent, you will come across a rope attached to a bucket descending from a perfectly circular hole in the ceiling.
The fucking well.
Bucket has a brick in it, but is sort of cocked between two rocks at this moment in time.
Interesting. I look up. Can I see the night sky from up there?
It's dark and cloudy at nighttime, so it's just a black pit above you.
All right, and I guess I look around the room. Anything else?
The tunnel just fucking keeps going.
Okay. So we just got a bucket. What's it lowered down to, if it were to be lowered?
It looks like it's just like has come down and is now set between two rocks, kind of on its side, just resting there. This is not a great place to put a well. You'd want to put a well in a spot where you've got, like, I don't know, easy access to water. And there's water here now, certainly, but there's also this weird bucket in place. So I don't know. Maybe it's a well. Maybe the earthquake changed where the well is. Maybe the earthquake opened a cavern to where this well is. I don't know. Maybe the gods are leading you to this well. Maybe this is just a coincidence and you're supposed to go deeper. Who knows? But you are confronted with a rope and a bucket that leads.
Yeah, I'll wait for the party to catch up, and then I'll call out, "I'm here. This is an unusual bucket."
Vincent.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
I'm invisible.
I don't know where you are right now because I can't see you. Okay, I am covered in blood. I am tired. I'm wet and I'm cold. Can you figure out the great mystery of the bucket by yourself? I trust in you and your bodyguard, but for Martha's sake, do not ask me to figure this out right now.
Okay, Fordrin, get that bucket out of these stones and put it into drop it down over there, I guess.
Fills it with water. Great.
All right. Looks like that was nothing, Vincent says. I'm going to go ahead now. And we keep going down the tunnel.
Excellent.
Tunnel? What do you mean down the tunnel?
What, do you think there was some greater significance to this random bucket?
It's attached to a rope, right? That leads up.
Mm-hmm.
There's civilization up there. Somebody has attached a rope to a bucket. And it was not those green creatures we found up in the mountain.
You're probably right. Okay, I guess time to climb it.
Wait, I'm a little halfling, short and stout.
That's right.
Can I climb the rope in the well?
Yes, you can. You're going to need a climb walls check, and I think with the rope on hand, you're going to probably be getting like a plus 30 to your percentage chance, which will bring you to a 95% chance, I think. So climb those walls. Yeah, you can scurry up the rope.
Woo.
It will bring you up and out. The storm is still raging. Rain is falling, hail is striking, but as you emerge from a well, you find yourself in the courtyard of an ancient castle.
Oh, shit! Abort mission! Time out!
And I think with that, we'll end our session for the day.
Oh my god. Fuck this.
So that's
Well,
it for Rise of Drekis, Chapter 2 for today. It sounds like we have at least one more session in us, and we'll sort out planning and scheduling on the other side of our break. And we'll catch you all then.
Oh, goodness.
Hi, dog. Yes,
Bye.
it's time for a walk. Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh,
We'll do reflections another time.
Yeah.
Ciao.